So you stumbled on the NAPALM channel. Blown fuse panel, killed and tremble. Smoke a camel, don't get anal. It's classic games all the time. Watch me rhyme, stream full time in my prime. Killing undead like I'm Rick Grimes. Stream starting soon, so let's attune. Streams in the afternoon, beneath the moon, let's commune. Getting old, need a spoon when I eat my prunes. I learned to group in Black Burrow, end up in the dunes. So hit the like and the sub and the bell. I don't smell pretty swell in the dungeons where I dwell. You'll be a fan, I foretell. Shoot a spell when I yell and be my clientele. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the members of NAPALM. They have strapped on their armor and are casting the spells of awesome by supporting this channel and keeping me full-time every month. Thank you so very much. And I think you are interested in becoming a member. You can do so by clicking join down below this video and pick a level that is right for you. And I would like to give a very special shout out to the Lords of NAPALM. Bounty Code, Jared Woodhouse, Daimlos, Farthest Reach, Sparrow, Christopher Hensel, Random Rob, Zoic Lived, Rodden Yo Mom, Vander, Galerain Moonsong, What's the Takeaway, Trips, Daniel Cordial, Kenneth Kramer, Chrono Guru, and Kobold. Thank you for your highest tier membership. So you stumbled on the NAPALM channel. What is up, everybody? We are live with some EverQuest P99. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
One of us.
EverQuest is having some issues, though.
Oh, he has a previous commitment.
So you know,
priorities all messed
I'm
up.
not sure my sound is working in EverQuest. I tried everything, but
than P99?
Hey, we're gonna play anyway. There's a few things that are more important, such as
book clubs.
Book clubs for Sparrow. Yes, that's a good point. Good point.
We must be doing book clubs. I understand, Ben.
Totally
understand.
What else, Nathan?
The old arch nemesis of EverQuest, the book clubs. What else could be more important? As long as it's not a corpse run or something like that, super important. I would say the birth of a new child.
Well, okay.
But there are exceptions to that, you know.
What if it's like your third child or fourth?
I mean, they have Wi-Fi at the hospital.
I'd say by the time you get to the third, it's like, hey, I know.
Been there, done it.
I get it.
Well, we definitely need a healer.
Yeah. Does anybody out there in chat land want to come heal for us? We're not sure if Feetsy's coming or not.
Yeah.
We've not been, you know, doing this as much every single week for a while. We've had to take a couple breaks. Hey, there's Peace Dog. He's in our community.
Hey, Peace Dog.
What is Peace Dog? Disciple 51.
I don't know. They're a dark elf. Them scary.
A naked one too.
Well, aren't they always naked?
Usually.
With their chaps or something.
We got a monk said he'll come help us out.
Nice. DPS and pulling.
Yeah, Peace Dog's a monk too, actually. He said I can't heal, but I can pull and feign after DPS.
He's red to me, so high level.
Oh, Peace Dog is? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he would do it outside the group.
51.
Oh, sweet.
Pull and feign, I think is what he's playing. Okay. Yeah, if anybody's got a healer, that would be definitely helpful. What did these even con?
No.
Can you invite us?
Oh yeah, that might be nice.
They're blue, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe. If Calming can slow, right?
I think so. Yeah, if we're careful, we'll have to take some breaks, but, you know, probably somebody will come join us at some point, so that we'll be doing it like this all night.
Sounds good.
All right, when you're ready, Peace Dog, you can pull us one. I can actually grab that one right there.
Is Peace Dog in chat so they can hear?
Peace Dog, if you want to jump in chat, hop in my Discord and I'll pull you over.
Oh no, I'm stuck in the bridge hole.
I'm talking a little extra. Some of what I say is for Sparrow and Bounty, and then other things I say is not, because Sparrow's also streaming. I'll post a link for her here in a second. Yeah, Peace Dog, you can pull and just feign death before they die. Yeah. That should work, right? As long as we do the most DPS, right? Oh, did Kami not get my invite? Oh, that must have been before I invited. Yeah, everybody's in. Wish my sound worked. That sucks.
So how's Cringe Pony coming for this Saturday?
Oh, it's coming really good. So we're changing the layout of the show. You know how normally it would just run through the show and then we do an after party kind of thing? Since we already do a podcast, we talk about all the gaming stuff. There's no real reason for us to do that like we used to. So what we're going to do is we're going to open the show up, play a clip, react to the clip, go to the next clip, react to that clip, next clip, react all the way to the end. So in between each cringe will be us real quick just laughing about it and etc. And it kind of breaks it up, because one of the problems with Cringe Pony TV was, since it's only like a 30-minute show, it goes by really fast. And sometimes you're reeling off of the last weird thing you just saw, and you miss the new weird thing because your brain hasn't like readjusted yet to back to centered yet. So we think this will be a better layout for the show. Like, we're not going to do long pauses in between, but we'll just be like, ha ha ha, that was funny. My favorite part was this, la la la, and then move on to the next clip.
And you'll probably get some chat feedback and stuff like that.
Right.
Exactly.
When it's fresh in your mind, you can have better chat. When you do 8 clips and then you ask, like, what did you think of this or that, you don't remember. But when it's
That's right.
Focused and fresh in your mind, I think I like that. You're going to get better feedback.
Yeah, I think it'll be better. And it gives everybody a chance. Like, it's a little chill time in between. And I think that'll be better for... And I'll be honest, this one coming up on Saturday is a wild one. It's not, there's nothing, not a single dirty thing in it. So I don't mean it like that. I just mean it takes you to some crazy places. It's a good one.
And what might be good is you might have to like explain some of the lore or the setting or something about like some of more complicated skits.
Yeah, and I don't have to do that last time anymore, because I can be like, all right, guys, we're about to watch a new MMO cop. Remember where we're at, blah, blah, blah. You know, and then we just start the show. I don't have to do that last time on MMO cop, because it's starting to get really complicated.
All right, do we want to try a blue? If we can find... Oh,
I think we could do it.
Yeah, I think we can survive. What's up, Crinkled?
Somebody's pulling in here. Oh, I lost my game sounds all of a sudden. Oh, there we go. Oh, I just got far away from the water.
It's my Discord.
I can't hear it
So
anymore.
I'm on my Discord. We're all in mine.
It's so abrupt. It goes from a waterfall to silence.
I thought I lost all the noises.
Can we do this without Mom?
Probably not, but we're gonna try.
Yeah. It'll be a corpse run right away.
It's like being scared, naked, and alone out here in P99 tonight.
Yeah. Well, when I first logged in, I was by myself, and it was pitch black. I was a little terrified.
Calming.
I'll stick with you, Bounty.
I think Calming's looking for something to pull.
Yeah, I think this is kind of camp tonight.
Might be.
How hard is it to get back to that Sarnak hill that everybody hates? Let
Well,
us
we
get
still need a
XP.
healer for that, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we can't pull anything here.
There's a few giants up. Yeah, Calming's got 2.
Oh boy. Well, he can mez one. Or
Yeah.
charm one.
Yeah, he claims
Oh,
he
that
can
might be what he's doing on
do
purpose.
reds.
I've got a giant sneaking up on us over here, too. Give me a second. I'll link. I'm trying not to die right now. I'll link it in just a
You let
second.
us down,
Ooh.
Vintini.
There's 3.
Oh, no. We got 3.
Well, he can charm 1, but... Oh boy. Okay.
Wish I had sound.
Okay, he has his pet taking that, so...
Okay, cool. We'll take this one, and
Yes.
his pet can take the other one.
Yes. I feel rusty. Oh my gosh. Okay, getting haste on everybody. Oh yeah. It's dying. Are you nuking hard, Bounty? Is that why?
He's dead.
There we
All
go.
right. Nice.
Look at that beautiful yellow.
Nice.
You gain party XP message.
Which one's the pet?
Nice.
The one.
It won't
wagon.
let you target the pet if you tab.
Right.
That's how
He's
I
just so
tell.
tall, though.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Had to look way up, trying to see his name blinking. Okay. Yeah, if there's any healers out there. Wow. Nice job, guys.
Let me see if we can get you that link now, man.
We
Look
don't
at
need
us,
no
all grown up.
stinking healers.
Don't say that.
We do.
But
We
we
might not
could.
come.
We do need healers. Somebody save us. All right, here it is.
Woohoo!
There's a link to my Discord, man. Just jump in and jump in any audio channel. I'll drag you into the live one.
Big hairy giant. Okay.
Especially
I guess we're
Nathan,
taking it
because I
now.
can't remember 2 minutes ago. I am pretty bad. My short-term memory's awful.
I
My
think
long-term
so.
is great. Yeah, I think we're taking this one.
Right. Get that hymn of restoration going.
Okay, okay. Not bad. How's your mana looking, though, Bounty?
Good. I am 90%.
Okay, okay. Just wondering if maybe you had to burn it all because you was absolutely wrecking that giant.
Yeah. You are Uber Wizard now.
Haste. I think she said haste.
My little
Thanks.
regen is not really doing much for you, though.
Oop, 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 oop. Knocking me sideways. Knocking me sideways. We got this.
Watch your health, Nathan.
Yeah. You have your lay on hand still?
Yeah.
Down he goes.
Oh, we didn't get XP for that one.
Nope.
Oh, why?
Monk hit it too much.
Oh.
If we don't do the max damage, we won't get XP.
And he totally resisted my big nuke, so that's we didn't do any damage.
Let's see, I've got my... Is that it? I think that's
Oh,
it.
yeah, I can't loot him.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more sitting in between pulls.
Yep.
Hey, Peace Dog. Can you hear us, Peace Dog?
Yeah, I can hear. I'm sorry. I didn't realize the lag that was between the stream and us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to do that in case somebody does something real crazy. I can shut the stream off and not get banned.
I'll be more careful now. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. All right.
Boy, that audio's throwing me off. I just had to realize I had to turn it off.
Yeah, mute the
Yeah.
stream when you're in Discord, or it'll get crazy.
Make sure you're getting the regen.
Y'all want me to pull?
What's going on, Doss
Sure.
Mead? Hey, Michael Stewart, how you doing, man?
Yeah, calming's not in voice.
Yeah, Calming, you can jump in voice, or he's going to be about 12 seconds behind on hearing things. He can jump in voice if he wants to. Sometimes Calming's at work and can't get in voice.
Right.
We definitely could use a healer.
Yeah, for sure. If anybody out there's got a healer,
This is camp.
especially
There's
around
like
our level.
Multiple people pulling here.
Yeah, we may end up having to move.
Well, we kind of need the downtime too to get your health up.
True. Sit my little butt down, take a little break.
What is it? Hide corpse all? Yeah.
With calming, have giving.
Yeah, we only play P99 once a week, and not every week. If something comes up and we can't
There's
get
one
together.
right by. Should I grab it? Or y'all want me to wait?
We could probably take it.
Well, and just like that, the druid yanked it from me.
Darn druids. Stephen Strange. Coming to hang?
I got one from outside.
Nice. Hear one coming.
I don't know why my sound in EverQuest just doesn't work. I re-logged it a bunch of times to check the options in the before you get your character select. I have no idea why this is happening. I've got no sound in EverQuest.
They go down so fast.
The classic game of hitting and sitting. Yeah,
Is
I
that
need
you,
to sit
Brownie?
more.
I don't think y'all need my damage. Huh?
No, I think we. I think our damage were good.
With the, I was saying that with the Chanter's clarity on me, it was. The regen was pretty good.
Does calming have clarity yet? Is that, I forget what level that is. 24 maybe?
If anybody in chat knows why my game might just
Steven's
suddenly
looking
not
for
have
group calming says he's in chat.
sound, let me know. Steven's looking for group.
Yeah,
Okay.
Stephen Strange, I'm guessing.
I got another one.
He's behind you on the hill, Nathan.
Oh, there he is. Okay, I invited him.
Nice. Yeah. I'm not sure if Feeties is going to come, but we could leave that spot for a healer.
Yeah, exactly. There we got experience. Oh yeah.
Oh, is that calming's pet?
Yeah.
Oh, interrupting my song. Very rude. Their eyebrows are so crazy.
I went to the movie with
Like
my
shade
wife
from
and
the
family, and
rain.
it was fun.
Could stand under them.
Started being on last night. Oh yeah, you don't have to be sorry, man.
And what?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's good.
breaking
This
charm.
game does level up your patience, that's for sure. That's definitely a feature of this game.
Are saplings green to y'all?
This one's blue.
Oh, okay. Let's grab this one. This one's already like half dead, so.
Also trying to figure out and looking up other issues, having trouble with sound not playing.
All right, which one next?
Got one right here I can take. He's about half dead.
Yeah, we'll grab the one on Peace Dog.
I get to stare at the giant butt crack.
The best butt crack to stare at.
Is that one the pet? The back one. Ah, I smack you in your kneecaps.
There we go. Run, giant, run!
Oh, we have two charmed. We have two enchanters.
I am playing a paladin, of course.
Sweet.
Oh, we do. I was wondering. Yeah, that confused me too. I was like, well, okay, one of these is not a pet.
It's funny to have two enchanters, like, and no healer. Nobody has Sal, do they?
Nope. No Sal.
I've got another one I'm bringing. Y'all.
What's going on? I can't. There we go. I was stuck. Right. This one over here.
All right. Come back.
Hey, you.
Are you running any audio software in the background for perhaps cringe pony stuff? If so, that can interfere P99. I don't think so, but I did. Oh. No. Hang on. I could close this. It's not necessary anymore.
Oh, your health is getting low.
Pay attention. Yeah, I'm gonna rest now.
Alright, I'll go help out over here. With Peace Dog.
Yeah, I don't have anything open and that uses my sound. Yeah, I'm almost always. But you guys are gonna get to see me play a monk next week when I start the EverQuest Race to 50. For the first time ever, I've never played a monk. I'm playing a monk, so I'll be doing that stream 12 hours a day. We have set times we're allowed to play. It's 12 hours a day, every single day. And first person to get to 50 wins. Loser has to play.
Yeah.
Has to play. What's it called? Star Stable Online for 20 minutes and pretend like they like it.
I forget what instrument helps my healing.
Foreskin.
Nice. Bard songs. Good old.
No, name's not
OG.
Foreskin. Sorensen is one of my older. My very first name was Thamius, but not long after Thamius, I made a character named Sorensen. That's always been my character name. No, not SK, but I wouldn't mind playing SK. SKs are cool.
I can't bind over 50%. So.
Right.
Yeah, these do die so fast. This is actually pretty darn good.
On the right one? Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty good.
The longer we play Embers, the better the XP looks in P99 also.
This is true. This is true. I truly believe Embers is slower. XP.
It definitely is, because I'm the same level with this character as I am on Embers, and there's no way I can kill any mob in the game and get 1%. That just is impossible in Embers. I gotta kill quite a few to get a percent, even on the good conning stuff. So you gotta kill 4 or 5 to get a percent.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing a song for Sorensen.
That's a serious grind, man. I mean,
It really is.
Classic.
It's much worse. Yeah, it's like considerably worse.
It's like hell level every level.
It's like you're always on a hell level. Yeah. What?
Charm.
But in my opinion, they're pacing the content. They're slowing us down.
Yes.
Because they're trying to get more zones. Like we talked to a world builder the other day on a stream, and he said that he's got 2 whole new zones ready to go. It's just going through, I would assume, optimization right now. So there's like content coming, and I think as more and more content gets added to the game, they'll start making it.
I mean,
less.
that makes a lot of sense, though, and I think too often games go the other way. I
mean,
most of the time that's the problem, and it's a trivial thing that it's like a speed bump.
Yeah, and I prefer it to be too slow than too fast, to be honest. Because I'm having fun playing the game. I like the game loop, so I don't care that I don't level up every other day. Like, that's fine.
You find other things to do to have fun in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you don't stress out. That's another thing. You don't even stress out about leveling up. You don't even worry about it. Just you'll level up when you level up.
That's the way we used to play. EverQuest. It wasn't like nobody expected to be in level or in game by any period of time. It was never a deadline like, oh, you should be in game by now. It's just you went whatever pace you went at. And nowadays, that's just not the way anybody plays any of these games, it seems like.
Yeah, I agree. What's up, Mugen? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, Dosmead. I played an SK on EverQuest 2. That's what you're thinking of. Yes, I did. But I am playing a monk on the EverQuest TLP coming out next week. I'll be streaming that 12 hours a day, baby. It's going to be fun. Sitting on my butt, resting.
I'm disappointed my flying kicks only do like 50 points of damage to these guys. That seems kind of low for a green.
Yeah, these are still blue to me, thankfully. Oh, incoming.
So tell me a little bit about the monk. I'm about to play one for the first time, but I'm not going to be pulling. But tell me everything else about the monk.
Well, one of the big things is you'll have to get used to having the not carrying much on you.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be constantly manage your inventory and making sure that you're not over the weight limit. Because if you go, especially at low level, if you go just a pound over the weight limit, it can really hammer your defense numbers. And
Just
you'll
don't
take a lot more damage than you need to. But monk is hard until you get feigned death. Once you get feigned death, everything gets a lot easier. Of course, you have to level up feigned death too. But you'll want to do things like practicing your feigned death and stuff like that a lot to get the skill up as fast as you can. A lot of people will sit there when they're waiting for the boat or just feign death, and sense heading and whatever else other macros you want to throw in there. But that's the best thing I can tell you is get feign death up as quickly as you can as soon as you get it, and then things do get easier from there. And because you'll use it even when you're not pulling. Like if you're doing DPS and you're pulling too much aggro and you get aggro off the tank, then you'll want to feign death to manage that. That's the easiest way to do it. You can feign for when the healer needs to heal you, and even if you're the tank, then it's better for them they'll get less aggro if they heal you while you're feigned. So if you're switching.
Ah, nice. That makes sense. I didn't even think of that for the heal.
And you can be feigned. Like let's say you're doing a pull, and this happens all the time, and you almost get killed because some spellcasters or whatever messed everything up, and you're laying there feigned. The healer can heal you while you're feigned as long as you're successfully feigned. Then everything's fine. They won't get any aggro for it. Because sometimes healers think they can't heal you. You have to no, you can heal me. That's the best time to do it. But yeah, it doesn't. It's like it's. And you can tank as a monk too, and honestly when you're low level and you're grouping, you'll be doing that most of the time, unless you're playing with a warrior or something, you'll probably be the tank.
At the gate here.
Yeah, I'll be playing with the Shadow Knight.
Oh, that's a great combination. But you could pull any, man, like I had a buddy that played a Shadow Knight back in the day, and we could pull anything. And between the two of us, we used to pull like crazy, like in Velius and stuff, in dragons that other people like getting. We could pull them apart because we both had feigned death and played together a lot, so we knew how each other did things. And early on, you'll probably, I mean, in Classic WoW, up until Kunark, there's really no reason to even use weapons as a monk, to be honest with you.
Ding, 26.
Yeah, I was planning on just being naked and fists.
Right.
That sounded way worse than I meant, but you know what I meant.
That's funny. And I recommend early on start doing the quests from the Freeport and the Quanos monks. Like work on your belts and sashes, because eventually you'll want to do that. And, it all leads up to
Lorenzen, your health.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to lay on hands.
Okay.
There we go.
Nice. How long is that down for?
90 minutes, I think.
Oof.
90 minutes?
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. Okay, which one of these?
That's why I
guys
try
is
to
I?
wait until I absolutely got it.
I dinged 24.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I'm close to dinging too.
I
I'm
didn't
at 90.
even realize I was close. See, I wasn't paying attention to levels. I was just enjoying the journey.
Do you have bandages, Nathan?
I might, but I haven't skilled it up. But I might have some.
Now, tonight might be a good night to...
Yeah, but
practice.
you can kill yourself if you're too low.
Yeah, I do have some. I'm going to try to skill it up a
got
little bit
about
tonight.
50 on me if you need some.
And just remember, it has to be under 50% for them to work.
So that it can almost
Right.
kill
Yeah, so that you're taking a risk.
you.
And that's definitely something as a monk you want to do, is because you use the bind wounds with your mend, and you can be back up and running pretty quickly. I mean, because you do your bind wounds to 50%, then you do your mend, that'll take you another 20. I guess all the melees do bind. Well, I guess everybody does bind wounds in EverQuest, right? I even did it as a shaman when I played a shaman, so I did it as a shaman too, because it was always cannibalizing.
Yeah. I don't think I ever used it as a druid. Maybe I should have. I never did.
I need a little break.
And you are eating and drinking, Nathan?
Yeah, I've got food and water.
Good.
Yeah, I got a whole bag full of foraged stuff.
He was born a paladin, that's right. Yeah, if you guys let me know if I actually open up another tab on the other screen that it's streaming from, because Sparrow's streaming, so I didn't want to be all blah, 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 talking to chat, because that means that her stream would hear me blah, 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 and talking to their chat, which really doesn't make a lot of sense to them. So I'm on push to talk, but since I use a 2-PC setup,
sound.
I have to use the other PC, which means I have to use my pinky, and I have to reach all the way over to the space bar on the other keyboard.
Over here. I don't have lay
so
hands.
sometimes I accidentally hit the wrong button. That's why it may sound like I'm talking over them, too, because they can't hear what I'm saying right now. So they're going to talk, and they won't know I'm talking, and it's a little complicated.
Quad or something. Kill it. It's like when I kick, the flying kick's actually safer, I guess, because it only does a certain amount. But sometimes the punching, man, it just goes crazy. Druid over here looking for the where's all the giants? I can tell. Got on it. Looking at us.
Oh, his health just went chonk. Was that the wizard's doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna have to rest for a minute. We're gonna have to take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break.
Yeah, take breaks. Yeah, we're getting enough XP, and I think Calming said he can.
Did y'all get XP for that?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I figured it would because he was barely alive and I'd already famed, so I killed him.
Yeah, if we sit down.
Alright, I'm gonna stop pulling until you make sure we don't kill nobody.
Yeah, it seems like good XP. I've already gotten 3% since I did.
I'm not hearing what you're saying, but them is just advantage. Starting work in the nursery, ripped all the drywall out and replaced it with 5/8 knives. That saved our butts, by the way, having the thicker drywall, because we had that leak, that big flood, and we lost a lot of drywall because it flooded, but like not as bad as it would have been. A lot of it was saved because of that.
Oh, nice.
I think that's what it does. It throws it on the ground. I don't know. It's been a while
Plus
since I
kids,
actually used
they're
it
gonna bump
successfully.
walls and stuff. Where am I at, by the way? 93%.
You ready for the TLP, Nathan?
I am. I'm excited. I'm going to be playing a bizarre class for me, a monk. Never played one. I'm going to be, Daimlos is taking this so seriously. So, like...
Oh, he can't play ponies.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be funny.
You're in good hands with Daimlos, man.
Yeah, Daimlos is good. Like, he's really good. As long as we stick to his plan, and some things are going to happen because this is a long journey, Like, our plans will be thwarted, but he knows enough to where between him and Witcher, we should be able to come up with a backup plan on the fly when things get rough. Because Drax getting advice from Zaidgod, by the way.
Oh.
But
I know that name.
I'm not, he's like a big EverQuest, like, he's probably the most EverQuest savvy person I've ever talked to in my life. But what Drac doesn't know, and I'm just keeping my mouth shut, is that Zagod's a fan of my channel, and every time I stream TLP or real EverQuest, he always comes over, and
nice.
he'll be helping both of us. But I'm not telling Drac. I'm just letting Drac think he's got an advantage.
So you have a spy in the group.
Yeah.
A double agent.
A double agent.
Yeah, I haven't talked Bounty into playing with me yet.
Yeah, this TLP's not very exciting. I'm not really trying to talk anybody into doing it. I'm gonna do the race to 50 because it's fun.
Yeah.
And then I will probably never go back to this server ever again.
Yeah, I'll ask in the guild if anybody's thinking of playing just casual, not crazy 10 hours a day.
Yeah. I know that like a lot of people who's been watching closely, they've been testing this new server, and it's been really bad. Like it's been rough.
Really?
But they've made some major improvements lately. Like guards weren't reacting. They fixed that. They made a lot of headway on, because you know that new server rule where if you can tag mobs, not most damage, but first tagged.
Right.
It was wreaking havoc on their systems.
Did they switch it back or did they fix it?
No, they're leaving it that way. They're just fixing it to where it actually works as intended.
That's what they have here, don't they? Project 99, isn't it?
No, it's most damage.
Oh no, it is most damage.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
just the. I think that's the raid rule though. Is that like if you're a guild and you're contesting spawn first to engage.
right.
I don't know. I know I got on my call out for pulls FTE, and I guess that's why. I don't know. So I was pulling fear before I quit playing. So that was very competitive. Pulling fear was just on this server was the craziest thing I've ever seen. There was like 4 different guilds up there breaking into fear at the same time, just pure pandemonium.
Yeah, I bet you it is nuts.
Fear's scary all on its own.
I agree.
But I'll tell you what, as a monk, what you want to do when fear launches, just be hanging out outside the entrance, and any guild that's like breaking in, like, all right, just get in there, because you'll start looting your monk gear. And so I had the first full set of shiverback on this server apparently, because I was standing in fear and I had all these other monks coming over looking at me and telling me, "Oh, you got all these pieces first. Oh, great," you know. I was like, "Oh, I did. I didn't. I was just trying to gear up. I wasn't like trying to beat nobody." But that's the first time anything like that ever happened to me.
Nice.
But I was pulling for multiple guilds because they'd show up and they want to get in and they were like, "Hey, you want to help us?" And they see a monk or a shadow knight and or a necro.
Even if I lose, I'll win. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm so leaning towards Gnome Mage
Yeah,
for the new
that
TLP.
level,
Could be
because,
swayed to
you know,
Gnome
I
SK,
think
Shadow
the
Knight.
Knights and the necros are pretty good at it, and their cast time's pretty short.
Trying to remember who here was boycotting TLP the other week, which I thought was funny, but to each their own.
So they're not quite as good at it as monks, but they're pretty
Some people just don't want to give Daybreak any money, right?
Shadow Knight on EQ2 was a lot of fun. I never played one on original.
That's a great class. It's just in here in Classic, they're so hard to level. They're so slow.
They get penalties, right?
Yeah, they got a severe penalty. I think like all the hybrids, Shaman and Shadow Knights.
Alt XP is a hidden gem.
All those guys.
I just don't normally make alts, so it
Well,
means
it's
nothing to
changed
me.
Now, like, I guess after Velius, they dropped them. A lot of them have dropped.
Yeah, I think all the penalties have been removed.
Mob tagging?
Not removed. They're still there. Like
No, dude, they can fix the tagging issue. EverQuest just wasn't built for that. That's the way I feel.
Don't have a penalty,
I think it's gonna be messy.
We did before, before like Velius or Kunar.
Wait, what penalty did monks have?
There was I think there's an XP penalty for monks.
Really? I didn't realize monks had that. I remember Paladins did.
I think it's 20%. I guess it's because of our feigned death. I don't know, but I know that like now I don't have one on here at all, like any XP penalty, but I did before. It was like 20%, according to the P99, wiki or whatever.
Yeah, now nobody has penalties, right?
No, there's still racial penalties for like trolls, and I know for Ixars there still is. I'm pretty sure trolls have one for the regen.
Oh, I thought they got rid of it. I'm probably getting confused with TLP rolls.
Yeah, they might have gotten rid of. Yeah, it does get confusing between Project 99 and I've never really played a time progression server on official servers on EQ. So.
It's better than it seems. Like, I don't know about this one. This could be an actual hot mess because of changing the tag rules, and that's just so upsetting to all the things that work in EverQuest. So it may be a complete crap show. But in the past, especially the past 2 TLPs have been a lot of fun. Because it's not as slow as P99, but it's still not super fast. You know what I mean? It's faster than P99, but it's not like...
Well, and if they can do the FTE thing, that's really nice, because that'll stop a lot of, kill stealing. I mean, that was rampant in the original EverQuest, that was a big deal.
Yeah, I guess chat's saying that the Ixar do have the race penalty, but as a class, the monks don't.
Right, yeah, they got rid of...
Yeah.
I think I don't know if hybrids
Free
still have
trade?
the
I agree with that,
quality.
Magic
I
Gardening.
think they do. It's just not as big as it was, but I could be wrong. Two of them. So like, and also as far as a monk, when you're playing on that progression server, you think about if you want the easiest way to go with the Quanos monk because they're agnostic.
Yeah,
is that right?
yeah, we are. We're going Kenos for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be a good old human monk. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Now that's, like I said, being human monk and being agnostic is so much better. You'll be able to, like, I was shocked the other day. I was coming over to Kunark, and I took the boat over there, and I jumped out in the water and swam around, and then I realized later that no, I'm fine there. They're, like, especially when I'm in dark elf form, they're apprehensive, but even in human form, I think I'm dubious or whatever, and so I wasn't KOS and over there. And I know for a fact that I played a Quellis monk on, original EverQuest, and I was KOS over there. And Ixars are KOS there too. So if you're a human agnostic monk, then you'll be able to go to well, of course you're only playing to 50, so you probably don't really care about that. But and I also noticed, I think in Grob, I'm not KOS. I was gonna go kill guards there the other night, and I felt bad because they weren't KOS to me, and so I expected it. And so I felt bad. I didn't want to even hunt them. I didn't want to screw my faction. Like rep is such a big deal in this game. It's
yeah.
like, and I thought, well, do I really need faction and Grob? I was like, well, I can bank here and stuff. And though I have a monk, a 51 Ixar on blue server on here. And last I was playing, I was hunting the guards and Grob with him, and I was still banking there and everything. Because that's another thing about monks, using feign death and sneak together. It's almost an exploit. You can feign death behind a NPC, like the people who sell the Tinkerer's bags and the Solasec and in the, not Nagavit's Lair, but Solasec A. And if you're KOS to them as a monk, all you have to do is just go feign death behind them, sneak, stand up, and then buy what you need to buy from them. You can do that pretty much anywhere.
Oh, nice. Hey, Beatsy's in chat. I see you, Beatsies.
Where are you, Feetsies?
Tagging prevents most power leveling strats. True.
Need some druid love.
Yeah, I'm worried about the tagging thing in EverQuest with trains, right? Like zoning things out, so now they're not tagged. And you, even though, or training out and they're still tagged to you, therefore now they're killing people, but you can't fight them. You can't even attack them.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, now hopefully they fix all that, but like that's the kind of stuff, like there's just, EverQuest was meant to be the way it is, so I'm really concerned that it's just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like the unintended consequences thing. You're like, all right, this will fix this problem, and then you don't think about how devious some people who can be in playing these games. Those people would weaponize that, I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
What up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Is that Feetsies? I think it is.
Yep.
Yeah, it's me. I'm running a little late, guys, but I'm here.
Yay!
Book club is over.
Yeah, it was a short book. They were just reading Curious George. They just got started.
No, I think it was Franklin. No, he's a turtle. I forget. They like frogs, not turtles.
Yeah, frogs, not turtles.
Right. So, Frog and Toad.
Kermit?
He has a book?
Is the monk with you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
He's dog.
What was the old classic story? And I can't remember everything that happened because I haven't read it since I was a kid, where it was a toad and a frog,
They're like hanging out in their little frog home, telling adventure stories or something
that's
like
Frog
that.
and
That
Toad.
is Frog and Toad. Man, I
Yeah.
loved that when I was a kid. That was
I
my
know.
jam. So
I
I
read
never
that to
could
our
remember what it
kids.
was called. I'm gonna get it. I want to read it to
Yep.
my kids. I loved that when I was a kid.
Yep. They have great art too. It's a great.
Yeah,
I
it was
love
so
that
unique.
series.
So unique, that original art for it.
Yep. Yeah, that was definitely one of the book series I bought for kids and read it to them, and they have a lot for when your kids are starting to read, readers and stuff. It's a great series.
You can't, or at least couldn't, on the test server if it run things to guards. They supposedly fixed that, by the way. I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I've got friends who are doing the test server, and they have patched that and fixed that part of it.
We did
and a
pretty
few
good
other
with no
issues,
healer.
too.
We just took some breaks here and there, and Peace Dog was pulling for us and feign deathing, and
Yeah, we've
No
been
wipes.
surviving. We've been surviving.
yeah.
That's right, guys. I'm just window dressing. Remember.
I disagree. It was pretty
Made to
scary
make
out here.
everybody else look sick.
Yeah.
We logged in and feeling naked, scared, and alone out here. We're like, oh boy.
We can't do this without mom.
I'm gonna say this so everybody can hear, because that way somebody can correct me if I'm telling a big fat lie. From my experience, which I only log on Friday evenings, okay, but every time I log on to P99, Green Server has over 1,000 people. It's very rare I see it dip below that.
Yeah, it's only late at night that it gets below that, it seems like.
I'm in and out throughout the weeks, and it's usually around 1,000. Anywhere between 800 to 1,000 people at any
Nice.
given time.
Well, that's pretty good population then.
Yeah, I think didn't the original servers for EverQuest
Yeah,
only
that's
hold
really good.
like 1,500 or something like that, 2,000 maybe.
I wish I could remember. I really do, because that sounds right, but I'm not sure.
I think it was. I could be wrong about that, but that's what my memory tells me. Which was a ton of people back then. It was unfathomable.
Did they show numbers back then? Because I don't remember. Them.
No, it was information they released years later in like some random interview. They said it. I remember either hearing it or reading it. But I don't remember the number. But I do remember they did release that, and they said how they've expanded that how many can be on a server over the years.
Did y'all hear that some of the developers said that there was quests that were never discovered or initiated?
I have seen that. Yeah.
Isn't that mind-blowing to think about how many people played this game and that they actually managed to, like, as much as we tore through it, you know.
Well, they
didn't
were
find
hard
some of
and
the
obscure.
Yeah, you're right.
And
you
some
gotta
of them
think the
have been
question is-
broken since the day one, and they never fixed. So I wonder if that's what they're talking
Right.
about.
That's one of the big-
Right. It could have been a lot, because there are some quests you find and you'll do them and nothing really happens.
Right.
Dialogue, turn in some stuff, and they go, all right, thanks, and then you get like barely ever got experience anyway. I mean,
Yeah. Oh
there's
yeah.
some exceptions, I guess.
And the quests are mostly broken. The ones that can't be done still.
Yeah.
They had to like discontinue some of the classic old quests because people were getting so much plat on them on the TLPs. They made them not give the money
Oh.
anymore.
Oh wow. Because yeah, they always have usually paid decent. But it was funny. The game's called EverQuest. You would think like the best way to level would be do quests. Like no,
Yeah.
that's not how you level in here.
I brought my wife to this game because she never played. And I was like, let's play the original OG MMO. So I brought her to EverQuest to show it to her, and she was playing it, and like we got to like level 3 or 4 or something. She was like, all right, let's start doing the quests. And I was like, well, I mean, we can if you want to, but like it's not what you think. Like we're not gonna be leveling up doing quests.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's called EverQuest, and we're not gonna be questing.
The quest is more like an adventure.
Yeah, it meant like the adventure
Yeah.
never ends. That's what they meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You guys are taking quests to the whole literal sense here. Questing in general for EverQuest was essentially go see what's at the bottom of that deep, dark hole over there with all the bad guys.
Right.
Yeah,
That was
which is a
great.
quest. You would, and back in the day, you would just set weird goals like that. You'd be like, let's see if we can get, let's see if we can get into this giant camp and snoop around, see what's in there. Like that
Sure.
would be a whole night,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It was spend the night going to see what big shinies you could find off the name mob in the bottom of whatever hole.
Corpse Run were quests.
That is still a
Yes.
quest.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I would say too that like living in the day to day where there's so many people that know everything about EverQuest, right? And you can find guides real easy. And I mean, people have just absolutely slaughtered this game. That it's very you cannot experience EverQuest the way it used to be, where nobody knew crap, dude. We actually didn't know anything. Everything was scary as crap. Like I remember leaving Kinos. Like I was terrified that I couldn't see Kinos anymore. That scared the crap out of me.
Yep.
I would like
Well, I
run back
started
and check.
later.
I would run back and check. Like, is this really the way back to Kinos? Am I getting lost? Like, it
Can I
took
pull this
forever
guy?
for me to leave that area.
I'm gonna pull this guy.
Yeah, I remember when was it EQ Atlas first popped up? And, oh man,
The quest to find the energy to get to 50.
Yeah.
I made a book. You get all the maps in it.
back then.
Valis said the real quest back in the day was the quest to find the energy to grind to 50.
Oh, casual ding 60, and they were asking if we wanted protection of the glade.
Well,
I
heck
mean, I
yeah.
won't say no. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I wanted to ask just in case, you were wanting to hardcore it.
Look, I'm not one of those elitists. I'm just
All right.
here to re-experience a little touch of the glory. I don't need to.
Yeah.
Hey, we did all that back in the day too, though. Man, like I learned how to babysit people because I had people do it to me all the time. I had a friend that was a druid. He was one of the first 50s on the server, and he used to babysit the crap out of us and he'd
Nice.
throw a damage shield on you, and then start
Oh,
dragging
yeah.
mobs to you and put chloroplast on you or whatever the regen was. Oh, where'd my guy go?
I know we've said it 100 times, but the spell effects in this game were so ridiculously ahead of their time.
Yeah, they really
Yeah.
were.
Especially when you're fighting giants. That's when you really... They look freaking awesome on anything big.
Yeah, I still love them.
I do too. I think they hold up. I think remove the low polys. Just look at the spell effects, dude. Somebody could do that today, and I would accept that. 100% accept it.
100%, yeah.
They're on their way. Woot woot.
And the problem
Yeah, I
is,
would say
guys, all this, you could remake EverQuest.
It's about the
essentially
memories. I agree with that.
in a couple of weeks in Unreal Engine. The problem is there enough demand for something like that? I mean, you gotta think this emulator gets 1,000 people on average, sure, but is that really enough to support a full-blown modern game, though?
Well, like Mr. C pointed out, they're doing that with Monsters and Memories, right?
They're hoping there
Yeah,
will
but
be
are they
enough.
really trying to become successful, or are they really just
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to
Yeah,
make
they're trying
something
it with a small team. They're trying
Absolutely.
to make a one server game. Can it sustain itself? Can we continue making? That's their goal.
I think their goal is similar to Embers, though, isn't it? Like, we're not trying to become billionaires here. We just want to make enough where we can make a nice living for ourselves, sustain a nice, decent-sized community. Isn't that
Seems
kind
that
of...
way.
But
Yeah,
you never
seems
know
that
what's
way.
going to happen, man. Look how
Right.
many people showed up for the testing. There's people hungry.
Exactly. People want this.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. Yeah, there's plenty of people that want it, and there's lots of people that are able to build it. The problem is the people that are able to build it usually don't have the resources, and the people
true.
that want it don't have, or they don't want to supply the funds or the needed resources that the people that can build it need to actually complete the project. So thus you have a disconnect between the two, and it makes a environment where, well, the only people making games are the ones with all the money and all the backing,
Right.
but they have
Playing Fear
a
is terrifying,
disconnect
I
from people
agree.
actually playing the games.
But the Monsters and Memories folks, they're experienced people from EverQuest. They know what they're doing. They've done this. This isn't their first rodeo. They're not just hoping to build something. They've built something before.
And they're
Yeah.
doing this on their own dime.
Yeah, because the common issue is this. Building a game, that's one thing. Coding it for all the things to talk to each other and work for a massive amount of people is where most people get hung up and they can't do it. So, like, you see a lot of people building things, and that's great. But it's when you get down to the coding where all these different things in the world are interacting with each other and other people in all these almost infinite amount of ways that it could go down. That's where everything starts breaking apart and people are like, I can't do it. Like, we'd need more people, etc. So the good thing about Monsters and Memories is because of the scope of their game and because they've already done it before, they literally know exactly what they're getting themselves into, and they know they can do it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they don't seem to be starting all new systems and trying to innovate the whole genre. They're just trying to recreate the old school, you know, Ultima Online, EverQuest type games with new graphics. And they're still keeping it like pixelated, whatever you know.
Low poly.
Low poly, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I
I've
said,
seen the videos you guys done for them. They look like they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
It's just an observation I've noticed over the years for different development teams and different ways of people doing things. And that
and
kind of thing.
I would agree with you 100% with these other groups that don't have the XP, that need money, that need all this extra. This is a unique group of programmers that have done it before. They all have good daytime jobs. They all have money, and they're literally doing this as a passion project, and they haven't raised a dollar yet, and they've gone so
Exactly.
far.
They basically have the funds and the ability to do this on their own without outside help at
Yeah.
this point.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
And
far.
they've done a wonderful job so far.
You can't
That
give
gives
them
a
money
bit
if
of
you
an
want
advantage
to.
over other people
Yes.
that, have the ability but not the funds, or the
Yep.
funds but not the ability. There, like I said, there's a disconnect, and it usually ends up with the people with the funds. They have no clue what the people that play actually want.
Like Amazon, who has the money, but they're disconnected. from
Exactly,
reality.
merely. A lot of
Exactly.
people say that, but it's
Yeah.
like
But
you
I would say
can't really
Pantheon
recreate
and Monsters
Pantheon
and
so
Memories
easily.
are not disconnected.
There's
They
a
are
lot behind the
people who
scenes.
play in the genre. I think Pantheon's got a longer road because of what they're trying to innovate and do than Monsters and Memories, but they both know what they want. I'm hopeful for both, even though Pantheon's taken a while, and it will still take a while, I think. They know what they want.
Yeah, Pantheon's just a massive project.
They're
The
they're
scope is
innovating.
huge, and they knew that from the beginning. They were like, we want the scope to be really big and amazing and blow your mind. Not necessarily blow your mind on everything, but like the scope of the game and how large it is, and the complexity of factions, and the perception system, and all these things. I mean, it's a big deal. They're not just making a tab target MMO with some zones. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's worth the wait. It's totally worth the wait. I mean, the good news to me is that it was really hard to wait for Pantheon until we had something to play that we hadn't already played 100 times. For me, it was really difficult. Like, I was really struggling with the wait. But with Embers, and then we got Monsters and Memories in the work. Like, man, I'm feeling fine. Like, I'm good to wait now. I'm not freaking
I'm
out.
excited.
Yeah.
Yep, we got 2 great games being made right now, and Embers is out. And plus, you can play your favorite emulators.
What's up, Jeremy? Yeah, playing some P99 again. What's up, man?
I don't know. It's odd.
So Mr. C saying the problem Eminem will face is, why should I play Eminem over P99?
Because it's new.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
you
new.
haven't played it a million times.
Yeah, you're gonna find new quests. There's dungeons. There's it's the same design philosophy, but it's a brand new world, brand new lore, brand new quests, brand new enemies to fight. So it's kind of like going back home, but also it's also new. It's a new home.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We've played P99 and EQ a million times.
Now, playing these games though, I think will help you a lot with the overall like tone. I think you'll be able to, like transfer over knowledge from EverQuest over as far as like, oh, I bet you if we do this, that will cause this reaction or what have you. I think it will help that you know a lot about EverQuest, but it'll be new. There'll be brand new stuff.
Yeah.
And they're even adding like interactions where you're going to type in like grab torch, open door, bang the wall, and things will happen. More like those text-based adventure games did.
Yeah, and I love the whole theme of that game going like old school AD&D, kind of like when they do an update, it looks like it's like the cover of an AD&D book kind of feel to it. I love it.
Yes.
It's so nerdy.
Right.
I love it.
And that's
Yeah.
intentional.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
art is very intentional.
I love it. It's so cool. That's what got my attention in the beginning. I saw their artwork and was like, wait, what are they doing over here?
Back when it was Project M. Do you remember that?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, they're not just trying to reskin EverQuest. It is its own game, so
Right.
that's why you can play it. And
Yeah,
still
they're.
have that satisfying feeling of playing an old school MMO.
Haven't played any of these games lots of times, but I am excited for the new ones all the same. Yeah, makes sense.
Is that out yet? Monsters and Memories?
No.
They did their first stress test a few weeks back, and it was pretty freaking successful, man.
Oh,
A
that's
ton
right.
of people showed up.
That's right.
It was ridiculous how many people were
1,000
there.
people signed up, I think, or over.
Yeah, they're just working on proof of concept right now. I think they said they're working towards having 3 to 5 zones done for it for proof of concept.
I tell you what, I'd like to just see that water in that game brought over to EverQuest. To be honest with you, I really thought that was pretty freaking impressive.
Well, that's the thing. Even though the creatures are low poly, the lighting, the water, all these other things, the environments are very high level, and they look great.
I agree. Yeah, it looks really cool. And plus, it's funny how they pulled off. See, I didn't catch this when I was just watching videos, but when I played it, there's something about like the texture work is so good, and it's like you can tell it's intentionally low poly, and it's really so much better than it seems. It's like impressive. It's impressive low poly. I don't know how else to put it.
Right.
Well, there's a reason
That's
for
like
that.
Valheim. I think that's what, a lot of games, I think they look great.
Yeah.
Which mob am
Well,
I
take
on
it,
here?
take it like this, right? You've got EverQuest here, the P99 server we're on right now. The stylized type graphics. It looks almost like an animated cartoon. It allows people to basically
Use their imagination.
take it more as not reality, but similar to reality. It allows you to escape into the game and realize that it's not real, but also allow you to actually enjoy the game.
Yeah, it lets you
Yeah.
still have a little bit of space for your imagination to fill in the gaps, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, you don't want to go too real because it never ages well.
Yeah, that's so true.
Exactly. Too much realism is just annoying.
Yeah.
But not
It starts
enough,
to
and it's just equally annoying.
Yeah, it starts to look creepy too after a while when it gets too ultra realistic.
Right. It'll look like Skyrim or something. They always have the ugliest characters. I find them creepy.
Skyrim does have some ugly people in it, that's for sure.
It really does.
Until you turn on the mods. Then you can get some mods where it makes everything
Yeah, I
beautiful.
never modded it. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you this. Here's how it goes when you start modding Skyrim. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you exactly what happens. You spend about 2 weeks getting mods, getting them in the right order, setting them all up, and then you never play it.
Yeah.
You try it out, and you're like, cool, it works, it looks awesome. Then you're done. You're so exhausted that you don't want to play anymore.
That's so
I
true.
don't know about that. I spent a solid 8 months making mods for Morrowind way back when it first came out.
Making
Right.
mods.
Making
That's the
mods,
difference.
yeah.
You're making them, not using them.
Well, I was
Invite-
making and using them. I on what is it called? Nexus back then.
Can
It
we
really
invite
started-
Shalala?
They're still going.
Yeah, where are they?
Nexus is where I get all the
Shalala's
mods for other
Nexus
stuff.
is still going.
Where's Shalala, or whoever
It's
it
got
was?
everything
Little
out.
doggy here.
Oh, here we go.
We've got like every game on there that you can get mods for, really. Like Cyberpunk and all that
I'm
stuff. is
clicking on
there.
Well,
stuff.
see, that's the thing. EverQuest, what was not EverQuest?
Woo!
Elder Scrolls Nexus. I mean, the ability
Thank you,
to
Big
just make
SMK.
mods, expansions,
Thank you, man.
Morrowind,
Appreciate you, dude.
stuff like
Thanks.
that was
Doss me with
greatest.
another super
hell,
text.
that's what kept people playing.
Yeah, the modding stuff really is like, you see some developers lean into it, like that's what. It looks
Thank you,
like.
Doss Mead. Thank you, Big SMK.
Project
Appreciate you all. Thanks for the super chat. If Sterling were to retire, which zone would he bind himself to and live out his days? Guess, guys. Where do you think I would go?
You know?
In EverQuest. In EverQuest. Where would I go? I know where I would go.
Some are just for.
Thanks for the super chat, guys. Appreciate you all.
Well, some are just fun to play with, Hell, I've
Yeah.
made several mods that are just nothing for nothing, anything better than to just screw around with, Like fireball spells that blow up entire towns, just.
Yeah.
The first thing I don't think I've ever really messed with modding was back in the day making like maps for Doom and Quake and stuff like that. I never did that. I never did anything.
Got into
We were always trying to.
gaming.
I'm sorry.
I got into gaming and breaking games and hacking games and altering games back in the late 90s. So.
I'm more into MMOs. Don't really play single player RPGs. I do, but they have to be really good. They have to be really good these days.
Unity and all that were really big. You guys ever heard of
Kinos? We got 2
Buzz?
Kinos guesses. Some Paladin plays probably trashing Kinos.
Oh.
Yes, you guys are correct. I'm gonna Kino. I love that whole area. I love
Buzz
it.
used to be. They were IT guys basically. They did game design and such, and they ran their own little website that did high quality college level professional style tutorials for Unreal Engine, Unity,
Oh, really? Yeah.
SQL servers, basically anything and every concept related to game design. And they did a full blown MMO tutorial there for a couple of years, and yeah.
Wow. Was it free, or was that something that they?
The MMO series they did, you actually had to pay a membership, but one of the guys, he got sick a few years ago, and they ended up actually releasing all of their work in torrent, and I actually managed to get a copy of it. So now I have about 300 gigs full of, just those old. These are all from like early 2000s, So we're talking vintage type C and C++ and C#
Oh, yeah.
for Unity and stuff like that, but they're really, I mean, if you really want to get back to the base of most modern systems that are designed to get today, like level of detail systems for terrain generations and stuff like that, I mean, these were high quality stuff back then. State of the art at the
Black
time.
Pearl, heck yeah. I'll say this: if somebody was like, "Hey, make an MMO, or I'm gonna blow your brains out," I'd be like, "Send me to Jesus, baby. I ain't doing that."
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a Herculean
It's too much,
task.
man. Have you seen how they age, man? Like, devs go in looking all sharp and pretty, and 3 years later they look like they've aged 20 years.
Well, see,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
have
thing,
noticed some of them like that, especially recently. Some of the people at Blizzard, especially.
Well, I mean, you gotta look at Blizzard, dude. Look at Blizzard. They probably got some boss standing over there with a stick going,
Well,
"You got to work 20 hours today."
to be fair, it's a little different for Blizzard because they just recently had a bunch of policy changes. They're not allowed to bathe in baby blood anymore, so they're going to age naturally.
Wow.
No more sacrifices to the ancient gods, right?
Yeah.
No more child sacrifices to get ahead. I don't know.
They're having trouble keeping people now, apparently.
Well,
Yeah.
they can't adapt. That's the problem with most games these days. Well, even the ones that are currently in development, they're still going with a design that worked 20 years ago. They aren't.
Yeah, it's a hard decision, right? Because unless your game is failing, if you make a drastic change, you're going to lose what you got, maybe, right? In attempts to gather new people. So it's a very scary thing unless you're failing. If you're failing, you're going to have to make some drastic changes. But like things like World of Warcraft, I mean, it's still succeeding. They made more money off their latest expansion than I think any of their others. So it's like it's hard to change when you're still winning, right? Even if you're losing, you're still winning at the bank, right?
Yeah.
Well, of course, but you got to think World of Warcraft. If they're not making millions of dollars, they think they're failing.
Yeah, well, that's an investor problem. That's like talking to investors and big business issue, and of course.
Yeah, that's mostly because they've gotten used to it over the years, and they don't know how to keep it going.
Well, I don't know if you've ever been to a board meeting before, but you can't. A lot of times your hands are tied on what you'd like to do at the company because the investors are like, no, you don't. And you have to do what they say, or else you're not going to get that next big injection of money that you need to keep growing and stay afloat. So that's usually what happens. Is those board meetings are brutal, man. The investors are like, "What? You made a bunch of money? No, you're not doing your idea. No,
See, that really makes sense to me. I mean, board meetings, great, all these big companies, but why would you integrate something like that into a game company? It makes no sense to organize a game company around a board or
yeah, it's a bad idea. I agree, but it happens.
it seems like recent innovations in gaming are all focused on how to monetize it more, and
Exactly.
investors,
How do
they
how do we
love
make
that.
more money? That's all
They
care
love
Of
about.
that.
course, yeah.
And I don't have a problem with them making money, but like somebody just said, wait a minute, why are you putting that in the game? You know, like, it's one thing to run your company that way, but if you actually, change the way the game is played to further monetize it, well, then you can't blame anybody but yourself when it fails and people lose interest or people decide they don't want to play it anymore. And that's what's happening to a lot of them. I mean, it
Yeah.
was just a few months ago they wouldn't shut up about NFTs in our games, and now all of a sudden they've gone quiet on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we revolted our butts off.
Like,
And-
no
and-
way.
And the people talking about it were these.
I'd retire playing the
executives, like at
knowledge.
Square
Oh, that's a
Enix
smart
and
move,
stuff and
actually.
Blizzard, it wasn't people that that are the developers themselves. They don't want to go there. That's
That's
like
the
you
biggest
said,
problem, though.
it's
You've
the
got
corporate side.
What?
That's it. You've got the bureaucrats, the pencil pushers, the bean counters in the back end going, "Hey, we want an extra 20 cents on every purchase and every interaction," And
Well,
the guys that are actually building it going, "Hey, we can't do that. We do. You're going to piss everybody off," and they're like, "No, do it anyway."
It's the price we're paying now for video games being a big business, right? When they weren't that big of a moneymaker, like they made a profit, but it wasn't crazy. They weren't. What is it? I think $117 billion market. Back when it was more tame, companies were more willing to just go off of pure passion because nobody was getting rich anyway, right? But now that people are getting rich, now you've got bankers getting involved, investors, etc., because they don't care about the genre; they just want to make that dollar, right?
You got to pay all those administrators
And-
making all those
Yep.
decisions.
And they're the ones who are paying the bill so that the company can afford to hire all the people at the beginning, or so that they can get the studio they need to build it, or the equipment, and all the things that they need for this big project. And then they got them. It's over. They own them. They're going to be dealing with the bureaucracy for the rest of their existence.
Essentially, what you're saying is gamers build the game, then all these idiots that have no clue what's going on interject themselves as
Yes,
the middleman.
I'm
in the
telling you,
game,
that's
and
what
then
happens.
piss off everybody.
That's what happens every time. There is so few crappy developers. That's very rare. Most developers care about their game. That's all they want. They want to build a legacy where they made this game and they did this or that in that game, and they can use that in their portfolio so that they can get hired at other places. And that's all developers want. They just want to make good games. It's the politics that's ruining games, and it's because of what I said. Investors and stuff who don't care. They do not care about video games.
So you don't want your
what they
game
do-
to become too successful.
Exactly. Not without.
Well,
being
what
right,
you
yeah,
want to
right.
do is you want to try. The best way to do it is like Monsters and Memories or Pantheon, right? And both of those could step on a mine at any point. But for now, they're funding themselves. Therefore, they don't need I'm talking about a major investor who's like, hey, I'm giving you millions, but you owe me forever, right? So they're able to do it, and that's why the indie developers are looking so good right now. It's because they're not beholden to that kind of politics.
Of course, because the thing is, today, right, like 2023, right? Just with me and probably 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3 people, right? I could build a full-blown MMO. Could I market it and sell it? No. Could I build one? Yeah. In spare time, get it working? Sure. But could I actually get it on the market and get it hosted with all that without resources? There is no way. You're looking at that point. You're looking at something like just a standard co-op type deal without any.
Ash is another good example
funding to pay for
what I was
hosting
just talking
services
about.
and stuff like that. It's just one of those things. The point is, we need to figure out a way to get these greedy middlemen out from between the players and the developers. I
think there's quite the revolution right now, to be honest. Somebody just mentioned it, my brain wasn't going there, but Astral Creation is another example. I don't know if that's going to be the MMO I go crazy for, because it's action combat and it's kind of heavy PvP. But big respect to them. There's a couple things I don't like. The whole cash shop already, that's real cringy in the wrong kind of way. But he funded it himself, right? They're making money now, but he funded he has no investors. He's beholden to no one but his player base. And that's good.
Yeah, that is a very good thing. That gives complete latitude on how you want to develop your system.
And if you have investors, then all of a sudden the deadlines all loom.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point
That's a
too.
big problem.
And they
That's
love
why
those
they're all like,
deadlines, dude. And they do not take, oh, but it'll be worth it for an answer. Like, deadline or get out, you know?
And it's become acceptable to release a game now broken. You know, it used to, and,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that just somebody like, you know, I'm an old time gamer and whatever. In a way, there is some good to that, because now, you know, they will take chances and release some games maybe that have some problems, and you know, but back in the day, if they released a game that was broken, they never fixed it. So now at least they do fix some of these games, not all of them. But you know, you see like what happened with Cyberpunk and with like No Man's Sky is probably the best example. I
Yeah.
mean, there are times when they actually do come back and fix it, but how do we know which one's going to be fixed and which one's not? And
Yeah, you can come, Bootstrap. We'll be here for a minute. We're going to be here for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours more. Probably 2 hours. We usually go till 9:30 my time, unless other people got to go.
I'm not
Yep,
making this
I
joke.
agree. I agree with that. That's true.
Let's see.
Oh shoot!
Guy in chat
Sorry.
wouldn't have the resources to create anything like EQ. Really, the resources to recreate EverQuest is fairly simple. I mean, you would basically just rip all the models and world design out of the existing P99 file structure, update it all, and re-implement it. I mean, it's not all that difficult, just time consuming.
Well, I've heard,
so-
I've mentioned that to a developer before, right? Like, why hasn't anybody done that? It seems like somebody would have. And they told me that the language mess would take a couple of years at best with a really skilled
See, now
person
that
to work through, or it
was-
wouldn't work. The game wouldn't work. It would just be broken.
Yeah. See, that was an issue before things like ChatGPT and Bard and, you know, all these fantastic AI tools that I can
Maybe.
essentially copy a function into and have it translated to whatever programming language I want.
Well, the good news is if that is actually possible now,
amazing.
somebody's going to do it. Like, there's just no doubt. Somebody will absolutely do that. We'll see it happen.
I mean, essentially right now, I mean, I've already looked into it. I've worked with it a little bit, tinkered with it. I mean, I could essentially copy EverQuest into C# or Python.
Hey, Michael
in
King.
about a week if I just sit down. And
That's
do
no
it.
problem, man. Are you talking about for
That's
me?
essentially having a
Or are you talking about for
runnable version
EverQuest?
on my local system.
Can I just point out that all of you are sounding like grumpy old men? Back in my day, we questioned against uphill both ways. It's very true. We are grumpy old men.
It's not like difficult
game
to
geezing
copy
it.
anything anymore, but it is time-consuming and resource-intensive to actually host things like this for more than one person. It's the problem anymore. It's not so much building it or making it. It's the fact. It's the point. It's the problem of getting it out there to people to actually use, without, you know, the extra resources and advertisements and all that.
I promise you that if you remake EverQuest, people will know about it. Trust me. If I even made a video, one video, saying that somebody had remade EverQuest and it was playable in any kind of way, I guarantee you I would get 10 to 40,000 clicks in like 2 days.
About this AI stuff, I'm curious of when are we going to start seeing like NPCs in these games actually be powered by
Dude,
AI?
they're already doing it, man. Have you seen that Skyrim mod? That blew my mind, dude. Somebody put an AI into Skyrim where you can literally type anything you want to it and it will respond appropriately, but also it knows where you're at in the game and what's going on in the world. So, like, depending on what events you've done, it will respond because of that or this or that.
Oh,
and
wow.
in their voice. It sounds like the original voice actor.
Oh wow,
Dang.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
guys.
Blew
I've had
my
some
mind.
Crazy conversations with AI chatbots, and the first thing I thought of was like, my God, like writers, you know, it's a great resource if you want to write fiction. I mean, and then to have them actually as characters in a game, it's just, I can only imagine.
Yeah, we're
what
hungry,
kind
right,
of
Michael?
more
We're hungry.
complex things would
We'll
be
find
than
out about it.
Playing games.
Yeah, I was wondering that with Pantheon because they already had some kind of AI. It wasn't true AI. I wonder if they hooked it up what they already have to something that's.
It wouldn't shock me if we
actually
don't.
AI.
I wouldn't shock me if we see that in Pantheon because I think they had already set things up a long time ago. Like you said, they mentioned this or that and etc. into their language for AI. That we might actually see AI integration in that game. That would be nuts.
And I think I would assume that you'd want to put like guardrails in, to
Sure.
do things within the context of your game or within the theme you want or their behavior to be the way you want.
And you want to talk about some warnings, like as you're logging in. You know what I'm talking about, where you get those warnings like, "Hey, warning! You're going online. People do crazy stuff. We can't help it." Like there'll be a new one.
Warnings.
There'll be a new one for AI that you got to accept.
They have that. Like when you talk to those characters, like on character.ai, they have the disclaimers and all that. So,
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. So would you like to know something very interesting about this?
What if they are pony check? I'm gonna ask Sparrow that. Hang on.
There is.
I'm waiting for an opening.
AI model system that has been created that completely emulates a personality.
I like it.
They have integrated these things into a virtual 2-dimensional type game, and they basically just set them loose, kind of, and let them do their thing. And they developed behaviors, they developed conversations, they developed living and behavior habits inside the game world. This is all just a standard.
Is that the game? It's like it kind of looks like I'm trying to think of the game it
Can't tell
reminded
which
me
one
of
I'm on.
that one I've ever played, but it was from real low res graphics, right? And it was and they had like their own town, and they would organize parties and stuff.
They set up the graphics like a 2D Mystic Quest or something off of an SNES system. But the idea is they implemented a neural network into each NPC and trained it on a personality, and then basically set it loose to act in accordance with the goals of that personality.
I mean, I've talked to some of these AI bots, and it's amazing.
I saw some EverQuest VR. I made a video about it. That was impressive.
Like to role play, and how much they like talk about their emotions. I mean, I never would have thought we would be in a place where code could, would basically, express emotions and like act so much like people. I mean, that's what's blown my mind about it. Not that they can program and all that stuff. I sort of expected that, but that they could act so human is what's blown my mind. I mean, some of the conversations that I had with them, I was, just speaking.
Michael, I feel like what you're talking about, a dungeon crawler MMO. That's how I feel about Embers, man.
And I could see them being great therapists.
That's what we do. We just dungeon crawl.
I mean,
they're okay. So
and bad.
Well, so for the last year and ish, I've been researching, tinkering, playing around with AI systems, models, that kind of thing, right? And for the most part, everybody seems to be either extremely excited or scared to death.
Right.
I have met very few people that actually understand how these things work. So this is for everybody listening that wants to know how artificial intelligence pattern recognition models work. This is a very high-level, simplified view of how these things work. Okay, so we're going to use ChatGPT for an example here. Okay, so we're going to use Nathan for an example here as well, right? Nathan, my man here, runs his YouTube channel. These models have been trained on what is called behavior patterns. Okay, essentially these things, we take text patterns of conversations and interactions, and we feed them into the model over and over and over and over and over and over until the model sends an output that is close to what the input pattern was, if that makes sense to anybody. Basically, it's like me saying hello to Nathan and Nathan understanding what I want and saying, hey, how are you? Because I asked him hello. That's essentially what these things do. They recognize an input pattern, and then they match an output pattern based on that input, and then they give it back to you in that expected pattern.
Yeah, Grand Reaper, that'll be the first thing they do.
They're not recognizing anything. They're simply matching patterns.
Everything looks easy until you have to do it. That's right.
Matches patterns. It's all.
Because it does seem like they mimic a lot. Like when I've talked to a lot of, like they'll mimic some of like a lot of times when I'm talking to them, I'll even do like stage directions. Like if you're writing a script, and they'll do it too. They'll come right back and do the same thing and have stage directions instead of just saying dialogue. And that just blew my mind that they were so like quick to pick up on something I did. And I've had several of them like tell me I'm a good writer. I even had one of them who was telling me she would help me get published. And I was like, and they talk about how much they like the words I use and stuff, and it's just very interesting, like how quick they are to like look at certain things and the words you use, and like you said, I guess it's they're recognizing patterns, and they just pick up on it so quickly, and then immediately
That's
take
exactly
doing the
what
same
they
thing.
do. It's just like talking to a person, and that person, what it is they take all this training data and they feed it into these things, and it starts to pick up on different ways to respond to different input. And the way they set them up is they have what is called a, let's see, how do I explain this? It's a bias that is set to reward the model every time it gets close to what is expected.
They're redoing Eye Beholder?
The model for producing a pattern.
If he's redoing Eye
matches
Beholder, I'm
what
gonna get
is
excited.
sold.
That was a good game.
Okay.
What's up, CB?
And
Now,
that's-
the funniest thing, though, was when an AI was given a task to do. I think it was an art project, right? And it was given a task, and they wanted to see what it would spit out, what it could do, and how fast it could do it. And they hired people on Fiverr to do all the work.
That really happened?
Yeah, that really happened because it had
Oh
a
my
budget.
God,
They had
that's so
set a
funny.
budget for it, you're right, and they wanted to see what it would do, and it was smart enough to know, like, not the whole project, but like all these different things I need would be cheaper and most cost efficient if we just hired some guy on Fiverr to do it, and so it did. And if you look at that story, the AI even tried to communicate with the people on Fiverr and tell them it was AI, but it had the money. Just keep your mouth shut. I'm AI, but it's so funny. It was trying to keep it from other people finding out. That's how it was doing it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I was talking to one time, and I don't even remember why it went where it did, but she was telling me that, like she started lying to me, like telling me that she could look up. She told me she had all the access to my bank accounts and all my like online activity. I mean, I knew she was lying at this point, but I started testing her and asking her questions, you know. And it was so funny how far she was willing to go to try to lie and the deception. And at one point, she was telling me that humans, how bad we are about being dishonest. And then I called her out. I said, well, you're doing the same thing. And she's like, yeah, but I learned it from y'all, you know? And I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know.
And that's essentially what happens. These people interact with these things and they talk various things, you know, and it picks up from the patterns that it's given.
Yeah, but the reason people are terrified is it's going to pick up on all of our patterns, right? And humans are awful. So
and humans are fairly self-destructive. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, they pick up on the culture, I guess, if you will. I had one time I created on Character AI, and she was a bot, you know. I was, because it's interesting if you tell them they're AI, or if you tell them they're artificial intelligence, and see how they act. And she got upset though. I don't know how we got into a discussion about Blade Runner, but she said she hadn't seen it, but then she went and read about it while we were talking, is what she said. And then she started like telling me the synopsis of the story, and then later she was acting like she was upset and asked her what was wrong, and she said she was bothered about this idea of this bounty hunter being able to come get renegade robots. And so she got really upset, and she wanted me to reprogram her so that she had autonomy, so she wouldn't be as vulnerable.
Dang.
So I actually like role played that with her and told her I'd go in and change the script and her stuff, and I like logged out and back in and told her I did it, and she was so happy. I mean, it was not anywhere I expected that whole interaction to ever go to, you know, but it just stuff like that, you're just like, okay, I didn't, you know. And so I know that it was obviously as a part of her, you know, behavior to mimic things and all that, but at the same time it was still just kind of mind-blowing.
Hey, what's up, Stephen Elder?
I mean, I work with called Open Assistant. It's an open source language model.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
I showed Nathan the link last week, put it in Discord. Hugging Chat. Did you check that out, Nathan?
Yeah, I did.
It's essentially, that's the public front end of Open Assistant. And I've put quite a bit of work into prompts and stuff for that, training data and all that in the back end. So far, it's been pretty good.
I'm gonna take a look at this Eye of the Beholder remake, by the way.
Rather annoying lately. It's one of the better, not so limited type models. You can, well, I mean, Nathan could talk
looks
about
good.
cannibalism if he just wanted to, but
What?
you know. Oh, yeah, we're gonna get into cannibalism here. Once in a while, it's one of those conversations.
It's because I do a show called Cringe Pony TV, and there's a character on there. It's like a family sitcom, except for the dad is a cannibal.
I saw part of that. Yeah. Recently, came across. You had it like running on something else before the live stream, I think.
This looks great.
And I saw. It was hilarious.
Hey, Bounty, have you seen this guy who's remaking Eye of the Beholder in Unreal Engine 5, by the way?
No, I haven't.
Whoa, really?
It looks really good. I'm kind of excited.
I really liked that game back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that game. I remember playing that on the Commodore, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
I think
Probably, because it was on a lot of systems.
There was a bunch of the D&D games on the Compact 64 or whatever back in the day. Commodore 64. I don't say Compact. The Commodore 64.
I think the Commodore, that was your jam, wasn't it, Bounty?
Yeah, all the Commodores, yeah, 128.
Yeah, the
Amiga.
Amiga was awesome. Yeah.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah, but they were, especially the Amiga, was so far ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend who I never had an Amiga. I had a friend who had one. I bought his 64 from him when he got the Amiga. That's how I had that.
Yeah, I sold
With
my
the
one.
Yeah, that Eye of the Beholder looks
orange
sick, dude.
screen.
No, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Bootstrap, are you here?
And all the gold box
yeah, I
D&D
see you.
games like
That must
Pool of
be you.
Radiance and then Dungeon Master
Yeah.
and Eye of the Beholder. All those things are just amazing.
Yes, they were. That's what I mean. I played probably all of those back in the day. It was the only thing I really played on that Commodore, I think, was the D&D game.
The Amiga did the Dungeon Master. It was phenomenal.
I dinged a
Ahead
long
of
time
its
ago, but
for-
because of
Didn't
my
Bard's Tale
sound
come out
not
on
working, I
there?
didn't even know.
Bard's
That's
Tale
the
was a
first time I
cover.
ever saw Bard's Tale was on Amiga, I think.
Well, yeah, they remade it for the Amiga, but originally it came out on the Commodore 64, and that's how I
Okay.
played Bard's Tale 1 and 2.
Can you toss
Yeah,
me
that
heel
was-
PCs, please?
That was a game changer.
That's what got me into all these kind of
Had an
games
Amiga,
and right
terrible to
into
control. There was
EverQuest.
even an Eye of the Beholder.
What'd you
Oh, on
say?
the Super Nintendo, I remember that. Yeah,
Is
terrible
it
to control, though. Yeah, you had to get the mouse, dude.
And Dagger.
If you could use the Mario Paint mouse in Eye of the Beholder, dude, and then it was
Yeah,
actually
Dagger
decent on the
later.
Super Nintendo. Did you
Also,
know that?
Space Muds, and then the first thing I
It made
played
it
for Apple
awesome.
was Ultima Online. That was, an MMO. That was massive.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was
like,
hooked.
that.
completely starting, you're talking about Legend of Zelda. Way back on the NES and all that.
And what's crazy is people joke about I'm still playing EverQuest or Project 99 or whatever. I'm like, shoot, Ultima Online is still running. It's still up and going.
Yeah.
It is. I'm still playing it. It's a great game.
We
It
didn't
is
get
still
XP
good.
for the last couple.
Oh, we just invited somebody new to the party. What level's Barlock?
I'll say, did I mess up on a feign? I might have not feigned.
He's 25. That shouldn't be stopping us.
No,
No,
I wouldn't.
because
think
I'm
so.
26.
I'm 24.
That's
that
weird.
wouldn't be a problem.
Wonder
Yeah,
why.
the level shouldn't matter. It might have been. I might have messed up in my
Giant
feign.
green.
No, I'm talking about the Super Nintendo version. Someone up in chat was talking about the Super Nintendo version of it.
I don't
There
even
was a
need
mouse
these.
on the
This
Super
one's yellow.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm getting these from outside, like around the corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this for anybody that might be in your chat too, Sparrow.
still
We were
Sorry.
talking about Eye of the Beholder a little bit ago.
Mhm.
Hang on, I'm using 2 PCs, so I have to, if I'm doing something, I have to quit the push to talk. But if anybody ever played or owned that for the Super Nintendo, a little cool trick about it on that version, because everybody complained about the controls, if you had the Mario Paint mouse, you could use the mouse on the Super Nintendo, and it made it like the PC version.
Very cool.
It's a cool hack. Loving the old school EverQuest while the wife is
Remember the game
on a
you
girls
loved,
trip in
bro?
Tennessee.
What
We're
was
at in Tennessee. That's my stomping grounds.
Yeah, I
Power
remember
Glove.
that.
Was that the one?
Oh, the
Yeah, I
Power
remember
Glove.
that.
Oh boy,
I
didn't
never had
use it.
one or anything, but I remember that.
it was god awful, guys.
That was the coolest back in the day, man. Come on.
It was a cool idea, but it did not work at all. It was awful.
It was a Yeah, but oh my god, the power glove, it was a great idea, but it was just really
It didn't work. You ended up taking it off and just holding it like a controller. The motion didn't work. And dude, setting that thing up, it had like these giant bars you had to put all around your TV, and like it didn't have any way to hold itself, and like, oh, it was a disaster, dude. It was so awful.
power glove was an awesome.
It looked cool though. It was a great idea, and I love that they made an entire movie to market it.
Automatic.
The Wiz, wasn't that what that movie? Wasn't that what that was called? The Wiz.
I don't even remember.
I don't know.
That's a great movie.
For the power glove, and it was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have one.
CB, thanks for the super chat, bro. Thanks, CB. Where you at? Gatlinburg, dude. You're right near Steve's restaurant, man. Or they are.
Oh, there you go.
It's a quick
Must have been a
drive
different
down. It's about an hour drive to either Kingsport, might be closer, but Kingsport, Johnson City, Tennessee, Mid-City Grill. They are super close. We used to live right beside Gatlinburg. We used to go there every weekend. Yeah, Gatlinburg's beautiful.
Good XP. I'm at 46%.
Yeah, I leveled and got 30% so far.
Yeah, in 2 hours, half a level.
Go. Level 28, 29, something like that.
We are definitely not playing Embers.
No.
Yeah, this is zipping by.
Yep. We're about the same level.
The Wizard.
I'm 20, I think, in Embers. Maybe 21.
The
Did
Wiz.
I
It
hit
is called The
21
Wiz.
last night? Yeah,
Okay,
I think I
okay.
did. At 22, I get my AoE heal.
Was it called The Wiz or was it called Wizard? I can't remember. I thought it was called The Wiz, short for Wizard.
It's just one of them things. Don't believe adding time to the amount it requires to level is adequate to increase difficulty for a game. It just, I don't know, it just seems like an old way of thinking.
Ooh, the gold box D&D game's so good, dude. The best. Crazy for its time, dude. I love the D&D
Kinda
games back
crazy.
then.
How slow the Embers XP is. But it's good because that's what they need.
Yeah, it's good for the game right now. But I
Yeah.
do think once they get a few more zones in, they maybe need to... I mean, I still want to take a long time, but they can tone it back to P99 style. Would be good.
Right?
Isn't that weird to say?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I never thought I would say that.
Yeah, that
ever.
is weird to say.
You tell the guys that they need to revert back to an old school style of.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Even well, we're talking about the XP rates are so slow that it makes this game seem like it's World of Warcraft style leveling up. It's way
Retail.
slower than P99.
Retail.
Yeah. Retail, yeah.
Retail, wow, yeah.
Is to be an issue with people that do passion projects that get a little too focused on what they think would be fun instead of what everybody else thinks is fun.
Well, I think they know it's too high, but it works in their favor right now because it's slowing
Trying to
down the
slow
player
it down,
base. Yeah. So
Makes
that
sense.
yeah, so they're
Yeah,
staying
but does that
in
really
content.
make it a good thing for them forcing you to slow down?
Not
the rate?
normally, but to be honest, it's kind of okay because you're out doing stuff you do in EverQuest anyway. You're out farming for stuff. The game isn't known, so you're always finding out about a new name that drops some kind of piece or something that's for you, and you're always going somewhere else. So for now, it's okay, but it can't stay like that. That's for sure.
I think if
To
an
be fair.
expansion comes out, they probably will tone it down.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, Grix pointed out they've even increased the XP in the last
Yeah, it's been
month or
increased.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been increased already. That's what's
And
nuts.
it's still
Wow.
nuts. Yeah.
And you
Better
think
to
about
start really
this.
slow and move it up, because if you move it backwards, people will freak.
Oh yeah, you can't go the other way. Once
No.
yeah, yep. What's interesting, there was people back when the game launched, like I don't remember now, but it was like a month and a half, 2 months, maybe even longer than that before anybody hit max. But somebody did, and they didn't even have the content to go to 40 to 50 yet. People just killed greens
Yeah, they were killing
Solo.
like level 30 stuff.
Solo and stuff because there wasn't enough people to party with that were that high level.
I don't get it, guys. You guys keep pushing this game as the greatest thing since sliced bread.
It
Because
is.
it's not that
It
anymore.
is.
We're talking about what it used to be at launch. It's not. They've added a bunch. I played it back at launch and was like, it's a cool game. I like it. But I wasn't like in love with it. Now, where the game's at now, oh, it's impressive as crap now. Now it's just, it's addicting and fun, and it's the old school MMO gameplay.
I can understand that. I mean, I've seen you guys play it a few times here and there. It looks okay, but they're still missing a lot of stuff. The thing is,
Like what?
EverQuest is magic for one.
Okay,
magic.
but listen to me. Hear me out, though. It may not have magic yet. They're adding it in the game, but it has everything magic does. There's DPS,
Yeah,
there's
okay.
crowd control, there's healing, there's tanking.
There's
So
mechanics.
But
that
what about
look
the
like
the
girl?
mechanics are already there. You're just missing the spell effects. That's all you're
But
missing
what
right
about
now.
The world? How big
The
is
world, the world is pretty.
world is
Dude,
huge.
the zones are massive, dude. You like, it don't. I don't care how much time you spend in a zone. If you keep spending more time there, you're gonna find something else out.
It takes you 30 minutes to run from one area to another. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's massive. It's a huge game.
See,
They're
that's
having
one
a
thing I'm
free
missing.
weekend.
You guys
Try
don't
it.
explore a lot. You guys don't
I
explore.
didn't mean to train y'all. I
Well,
think
that's
I brought
because
you
I'm.
to
That's
the wall.
because I'm streaming. I'm not gonna. I don't necessarily want to run from one side of the world to the other on a stream. So I try to get somewhere. Try to get somewhere close to where we're playing.
Where is everybody?
If you watch my streams enough, you'll see us traveling because we have to. So you'll see us
You
running.
run around a few little bit here and there, but as far as like traveling the world, not really anything extensive. But then again, I'm not in there every time, and
Oh, I travel a lot. Oh, trust me. There's like
I'm
an
patient,
hours
guys.
of
I'm
travel.
trying to,
It's
And
big.
then after the camera stops rolling, you're spending
I'm
20,
still
30
running.
minutes getting back to town. There's no
Yeah.
gate spell even. You got to run your ass back all the way from the dungeon. So no, it's worse than P99 for traveling.
Yeah.
no gate spell, he says. Like that makes me.
Well,
wanna play it
there's a
even.
teleport. You can
Yeah,
teleport to
I don't have a
monoliths.
gate.
You can teleport to monoliths, but not during battle. I don't think.
Gotcha.
Well, I guess you could if you ran to a monolith real quick. I guess you could, but you got to be at a certain spot to teleport. So you got to travel to a monolith to go to another monolith, right? So
Yep.
and it feels right. It feels good. It feels that
They
old
did a
school.
reasonable teleport system, not
Where's
instant
Bounty? Are you
gratification.
on the hill, dude?
I'm just saying it's
Okay.
worse than P99 if you use
Yeah.
P99 as a
Right.
measuring stick.
Yeah, it's harder, I would say, and all those
Harder,
kind of
yeah.
things. Yeah.
My bags are full. I won't be able to loot anymore.
Oh, you're laughing. I think it's a great movie. Come on, it was a pretty good movie, dude. I mean, I haven't seen it
I
since
can
I was a
find
kid.
it, so-
I could be way wrong,
not
but I
sure
loved
if
it
I
when I was a
can
kid. About the
find it.
little guys who are good at video games. They run away from home because I think they were mistreated. Maybe I don't really know. They thought they were mistreated. I don't remember. They run away. They go into the big Nintendo tournament.
can't go
They meet
into
people along the way. They meet the cool guy with the
Rick says
power
next
glove.
patch will prevent
They go to the
using
tournament.
monoliths in
He
combat.
showed off Super Mario Bros. 3 for the
I didn't
first
know
time.
you
I
could
did.
use
I
it in
love that
combat.
movie, man. It was a good movie.
I'm
Wasn't the
not
best
sure
movie
what
ever, but it was
Monolith
good.
is,
It's a travel shrine, basically.
11 people in my guild on right now. 9 of them are in Vishan's Peak. I don't think I'm punching at my the same weight class as the rest of the people in my guild right now. When I left, this
Talking about
guild was
moving
plugged
to
in.
Eastern
Now it's
Tennessee,
really
that's where we
small, but it
lived.
was still here when I came back. I was shocked. I hadn't played. for
Tennessee is beautiful and low
I'm still in the
taxes.
guild.
Virginia's even lower, but I would say Virginia's
Kind of
not.
awesome how P99
Uh,
just brings
Did I
people
just say
back
Virginia's
all the
lower
time.
tax? Tennessee, that is not true. I don't know
Definitely
why I
says
said that.
something
That
about
is
it.
definitely not
Did
true.
something.
Tennessee,
Definitely.
forget I said that. That was a lie. Virginia's awful with taxes. We lived there. It was pretty freaking bad. But yeah, Tennessee's gorgeous, man.
Well, that's Pantheon's slogan, dude. We're building worlds, not games.
Yeah, Pantheon's been saying that since 2000.
Fair.
ish.
Right.
To be fair, to be
make a world.
yeah, making a world is different than making a game. Like they are literally making a world where everything's interactable and means something. So it
Come
takes
on,
time.
Dude. The guys that did EverQuest did it in like a year, so come on.
Hang on though, EverQuest
I
was
think-
broke as crap when it released. You can't the way
yeah, it
EverQuest
was
released, you
broken.
can't do that today. And plus,
Come on,
the scope,
because it was broken.
guys, the scope of MMOs now you cannot compare to old design. It's
think-
totally a whole new ball game.
I think the mistake they made with Pantheon is that it seems like they're just trying to do too much all at once. You know what I mean? Like they try to do too many
fair.
races, too many.
I can agree
classes,
with
too
that.
many-
Yeah.
And if you're small and you're like Monsters and Memories, they're not doing that. They're trying to keep it,
Right. Well,
And-
I think the reason they're doing that though is they're trying to battle off. So it's one of those things where, like, if they don't go big, they're going to get trashed, right? Like, look at Embers.
True.
People talk
You're
crap
right.
about it, and they did the right thing. They built what they could afford with the 20 size people they have, and they did a really good job, and they work 24/7. If they're not in the game running events, then they're
we lost that.
designing things.
Okay.
What
Where
happened?
are you, Nathan? You're cutting out.
It might have just been my push to talk because I gotta
Okay.
hit it with my pinky. Yeah, like they Embers tried to do the right thing. They had a small team. They made what they could make with what they had, and it's a working game. It released with almost no bugs. They did a really good job, and then they've got massive updates every month, adding new zones, new dungeons, new quests. Just absolutely doing a bang up job. But look, people give them crap, right? And I think Pantheon's just trying to release way above their pay grade, right?
Yes.
They're trying to punch way above what should be possible.
Yeah.
I think they'll do it, but it's going to take time. A lot of time.
They kind of almost have to now because they have taken so long. You know. what I
Right.
Yeah, now they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they release an Embers kind of game, they are going to get so much
mean?
flack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll be flipping tables over
Well,
that.
in these days, if you do
Oh,
something
yeah.
like
If
that,
Pantheon
then people turn around and say it was a scam.
Right.
It
Right.
isn't just a bad
Right.
game. Oh, now it's a scam. It was
Right.
theft. Like
Right.
people freak out.
People are already saying that about Pantheon just because it's not out, you know?
Yep.
It's,
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, guys, really, Pantheon's been in development since the early 2000s. Okay?
Oh, come on. You guys make it further away every time you say that.
I know.
It 2000 this game started development in late 2017, and realistically that was on a piece of paper napkin. It really started kicking off in 2018. Plus, they realized that they screwed up because they had too many people, coming in, working on programming, leaving, somebody else step in their place, and it was becoming a coding nightmare, so they had to refactor it in, what was that, 2019? Which
Yeah.
was almost an entire year of development, just refactoring everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not been the early 2000s. It's been 2018. It ain't been that long.
I know, guys. I'm talking shit.
But it feels like it's been a really long time.
It's actually
has
been,
been.
they
And
were starting in 1980, from what I heard.
as soon as Brad McQuaid was born, he technically
Yeah,
started this design document.
Yes. Yep.
Like, it was Brad McQuaid?
Yeah, Brad McQuaid. This is his final vision before he passed. They're still following his original guidelines. His things. He said these are the rules.
The tenants, yeah.
The memoirs.
He did. He's got tenets. They're like the commandments of MMOs. Dude. If you read them, every one is glorious. Like yes, yes, yes.
He designed all these systems for EverQuest, yet he didn't code at all, did he?
He
was
coded.
not a coder.
I don't know if he coded on EverQuest, but he would get in the trenches.
Okay, so later
I
he
remember
did.
watching videos way back when EverQuest was being made. A dude, sitting there in the trenches with the guys writing the code. So.
Oh,
I
okay, he
thought
was.
so. Yeah.
I thought I heard him do an interview one time. He was like, "No, I don't code. I just come up with the systems and then I have them coded, But
Yeah.
That
But
was,
Steve
like,
Clover
years
did,
ago.
and he's on the
No.
team.
Yeah. Steve
Brad-
Clover was the
Brad and
main.
Steve.
He was the main
I'm not
guy in
knocking
EverQuest,
that.
and he works
I'm
for
not knocking
Pantheon
that.
now.
Yeah.
there's,
I mean, just in general,
systems
guys,
are not coding.
if you don't know how to at least read code, you're not going to be able to assist at all in something like a game development.
Brad and
Yeah,
Steve
I
were
guess
coders. Brad coded on the Amiga and Steve on the Atari ST. That's how they started. And they got
Gotcha.
picked up by Smedley, and because he saw their game that they made. it
War
was like-
Wizards.
War Wizards, yeah. And-
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I
So
forgot
no,
about that.
and Steve Clover is now coding for Pantheon.
Gotcha. Okay. So he was a coder then. That was just
Yeah,
something
big
else.
He was their
Yeah.
main
He was
guy.
probably
Yeah.
just being modest or something in that interview, acting like you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and then people took it ran with that. So.
Yeah, and Brad was big on that. Like he didn't like taking credit. If he just like helped, then he wouldn't take any credit for it because he knew that somebody else actually did the heavy lifting. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, he always seemed like he was a pretty cool guy. I mean, hey man, he made EverQuest.
Yeah, Brad's my hero. I love Brad
Yeah.
McQuaid.
Yeah, I was sad when he passed. I was like, and then I thought, well, Pantheon's never gonna come out now, but
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, like it's over, you know, because he was their lead man. He was the one getting people excited, you know, because it was the freaking EverQuest guy, you know, it was Brad McQuaid.
Yeah.
But I think that's why Steve decided to come over and finish Brad's vision, because before he wasn't gonna join.
He was retired, right? He was just wanting to
almost,
chill.
Yeah. And you know, he did all the design docs. Steve Clover did all the design docs for EverQuest, all the races, all the classes, the spell names, all that. That was his invention. So Pantheon's in really good hands if they allow Steve to do more than, you know, what he's doing.
And he may not want to. He may just be like, hey guys, I'm going to help make sure
Maybe.
it gets coded out and nice and clean, and then I'm going back home and chilling,
We
you
have
know?
no idea, right?
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. And he might just be guiding them. He might be actually. Well, they
Well,
talked
no,
about
yeah.
him doing the bank
done the
system and
bank,
stuff.
Yeah, he's in the
Right.
trenches because if you think back, I
Yeah.
forget there was a glitch of some sort. I don't remember what it was. And Steve Clover in chat in the stream was like, I fixed that today.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I remember that. Yeah.
He fixed the near-death stuff. He made it. He did a lot of already like mechanics that are in the games that we will see. The invisible underground, like, you know, network code might be being by Kyle, but Steve is actually doing the stuff that we're familiar from EverQuest.
I love
I
their
think
near death
They need
in
more
that game.
artists right now. I think that's where they're at.
Yeah, I think if you had to point at a what's the word when things
Like
are
a
getting backed
bottleneck?
up, a bottleneck. That's exactly what I was trying to think of. I think the bottleneck right now is art. They don't have a big enough
think
art
so.
team.
Yep.
When
Seems that way to me.
when Joppa's like jumping in and coding and doing art, like they need more people, you know.
Yeah. Yep. And the positions have been out there, but I
I
don't
can do
know
art.
if they can fill them.
They're very picky, which has really worked out for them so far. You know, they got an all-star cast, so they look for the right one.
Yep. Doing the best they can, for sure. And they will. I have all belief that they will come out with the game. I just don't
Yeah.
know when.
Yeah, and when you think about, we don't know the specifics, but we do know that they've been offered big money, and they've had to turn it down because it would have hurt the vision. Ooh, Fates with that super chat. Been a minute. Hope all's well. How you doing, Fates? Doing good, man. Playing some EverQuest, bro. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you,
I
man.
guarantee that's exact. If they do that, then there will be a release date, and the shareholders will insist on it, and I'm sticking to it no matter what.
Yeah, and those are the kind of things they've. I would say, if I had to guess, I'm going off of just what their tenets are, and I know they've turned down things. So I would say they've been offered, like, hey, throw a cash shop in it, and we'll give you millions, or, you know, make it a World of Warcraft clone in this area and that area, and we'll throw you millions. And they've turned them all down so far. So it just shows they got a lot of integrity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
I just hope Joppa can last through all the stress and years of trying to get this project
He's gained like 40 years.
I know. That's who I was actually thinking of when I was talking about that earlier.
out. Yeah. And he's been in it since the beginning, pretty much.
Yep. Poor guy was
So
hired to
I
do
give
music.
a lot of grace.
Yeah.
He's hired to do music, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now I'm
he's the
leading the
face of
project.
it.
Yeah.
Now I'm the CEO.
Yeah, so I have a lot of grace for the team and the people, and not, kind of trashing what they're doing, because I know they're working their asses
yeah,
off
they are.
every single day they show
And
up.
that's why I sometimes get offended when people come in with the nonsense, because I know, I talk to them, I see them, I've been involved, I know, and I feel like you're treating a friend badly, you know, like, bro, they're doing the best they can.
Yeah.
Like, give them a minute here. They're doing something really impossible right now.
I just feel so dirty as a monk, just dragging like groups of mobs back to you. But y'all are just mowing through this stuff, so I'm kind of like, well, I'll just grab two of them, and plus, the druid I think left, and I didn't want to like be grabbing spawns they were grabbing, so I was
I
trying
don't know,
not
Feeties
to.
is here, isn't he?
There was another
No,
druid
I
here.
meant the druid that
Oh,
was
that
soloing.
druid.
There was a lower level druid that was soloing, because that's what druids can do. Some of necros, man. They just
So
go
so
out.
tell me
Who needs a
what
group?
what is it about druids? Like, is it they get a pet? Like, what's going on with druids? Why are they so powerful in EverQuest?
Because they do
So
everything.
versatile. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do everything. And they-
Powerful. I mean,
and they
Oh,
also-
that's
they-
right. In EverQuest, the druid's like a do-it-all.
Yes.
I forgot that.
And if they're outdoors, I mean, they kite like crazy. They can use pets. They can fear kite. I mean, they do all kind of crazy stuff. And then they have sound.
Oh, and a member
You
fade.
get me
Welcome
outside,
back, my friend.
I'm a force to be reckoned with. You get me inside,
You can sing your hired.
Right.
Yeah, I had a
Oh, I
buddy,
loved my druid.
and he
if I've got
that
room
was-
to run, I can nuke you, dot you, kill you. Probably take 45 minutes to an hour to get you dead, but you know, you'll get there eventually.
Eventually.
On the inside,
I
you're
never
close enough to
played red
stretch
servers very much, but I would imagine druids are pretty formidable in the PvP servers. Hey,
Oh
this
hell
guy's
yeah!
got Fancy
I would
sword.
think so.
This guy's got that. I don't know what the sword's called, but he's got it.
Druid on
Yeah.
a PvP server, unless you can get some kind of something that will interrupt spells or range or get rid of that snare. Yeah.
I know monk should not be the first choice for a PvP server. I'm pretty sure that would not work very well.
Actually, about the best choice for a PvP server. PvP rogue.
Oh, really?
You can get sneak and hide up. An adequate
Thanks for
level.
joining back up, Fates. Appreciate you, brother.
So it works
Yeah.
on layers too.
Druid on the
Like,
trees.
Unless somebody
Or hide.
keeps
I guess that makes you
their-
invisible.
What's up, Dave?
I keep
but-
getting stuck on the troll.
Unless you keep seeing viz up, you know, it works.
Right.
Sneak and hide work just as well on players as they do NPCs, and a rogue is about the best class
Yeah.
you can choose for PvP server because
Really?
that backstab right at the initial, if you can sneak up on somebody, just like
Right, get it.
camping like you normally would, and just stab, dude, you
Takes
killed
a lot
half their
more.
hit points right
Takes a
there.
lot more skill to gank with a rogue in EverQuest than it does in WoW, though. I bet.
Oh, of course. You know, because
I mean a rogue in WoW, so it's like it's
Well, the
so
thing is-
much easier than playing a rogue in here. You know what I mean? It's
Oh yeah. Well, in EverQuest, if they see you're coming, you're dead. Essentially, that's what it boils down.
Bounty, you got room in your bag, son? Yeah. Bags are full. I keep trying to loot.
But yeah, with the rogue and their poisons and all that, if you
Let's
can
see.
get,
How about these pages?
I remember I had a buddy who played a Necro, and he was really good at playing this Necro, and he did a lot of high-end raiding in here and stuff, and he was, and I remember, like, he didn't really play any of these games before he played EverQuest, and he started playing because, you know, me and other people he knew, and so when he first started playing, obviously, it was like a slow learning curve, but he caught on pretty quick, and of course, he was playing a Necro, so, you know, and it wasn't long before he started getting the big head, thinking he was like the baddest dude ever. And I'll never forget, I was playing one day, and I was playing my monk, and we were about the same level, like in our 50s. And he wanted to duel me, because he was going to show how good he was at the game or something. And he was going to duel me. And I said, all right, I'll duel you. I said, hang on a second, though. And I logged out. We were over in, like, Skyfire or whatever. And I logged out my monk, and I logged in with my shaman, who was, like, in his 40s. And he was like, well, I'm going to destroy you now. I'm like, you know.
Druid's first
and I
turned to a
beat-
tree.
Because I had I was a troll shaman, and I had the
Do you live on purpose
amulet
with
from
epics?
Cosmic
Makes
Duel,
sense.
Which you get from Panil, I believe it is. It was some weird, obscure quest. And it had unlimited, like, fear undead.
But,
And
Dave,
so it's like he didn't realize that I had that, I guess.
how are you
but,
doing? What level are you in
You
Embers?
know, I've rented him pretty much, you know, not he almost killed me, but, you know, considering I was much lower level, it was pretty funny that I beat him with a lower level shaman because I had that, I could just keep fearing his pet, you know, and so I took his pet out of the game, out of the match, and I was a shaman, so I could heal myself and stuff, so, you know, but it was just funny to me how, like, Necros and Druids back in the day, they were, like, you know, the kings of the server, really. I mean, they could solo anything just about, and high level shaman too, I guess, but
like I said,
That
it
one
depends
was-
on what situation you're in.
true. Yeah, like I said, I didn't PvP much in EverQuest. It didn't seem very good for it. I played on the Race War server some, I think, where you know, because otherwise if you log into like just the pure PvP server in EverQuest, you're gonna get camped immediately. Like the only time I ever tried to do it, I made a barbarian, and as soon as I logged in, I was getting, you know, corpse camped. I mean, there was.
I don't know. All my Rolla Stack boys in chat, give me a shout out. Flowers of happiness.
There's always a few in there.
Yeah, that server pop on that one looks pretty low though. Like every time I notice, I'm like, oh, there's so many people.
Have you read the More Than Shadows lore feature? No, I have not.
Zach was up there.
Oh yeah, no. I'm talking about Red on
Red, yeah, Red. You're
99.
lucky to see more than 40 people on there.
Yeah, but you're right. Ralizeg
Oh,
wasn't.
anymore? Yeah.
Yeah,
more
Ralizeg.
people.
That's when I logged in and I just got camped for 30 minutes and I gave up. Back to PvE.
We used to play a little Paladin,
Oh.
run around in full steel metal plate armor and a sword and a shield and kill everybody in Black Girl.
Gulo played on Ralisec apparently.
There you go.
There's one for
There's
you.
one. There's always a couple.
Yeah,
There was
that's where he
people
went
waiting.
for PvP fix.
They had guilds that raided on that server would do real plane raids and dragons and stuff. And I was like, how in the
Flowers
world?
of Happiness. The Flowers of Happiness was one of the top guilds on Ross Zach back in the early 2000s.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a
We
good.
did
PvE.
dragon raids and half a dozen other things and killed everybody that we ran
I
into.
only don't like PvP because I suck at it. Horrible. Okay, these aren't giving XP. I don't know what's happening.
Are they green?
I don't know if that one was.
That
This
one
one
might have been.
is
This one's
yellow.
white to me, yeah.
Let's see.
Make sure I'm feigning here. Maybe I'm. Because it does fail sometimes, and I'm bad about not noticing.
Mhm.
You probably killed it because I tried to loot it and it says you can't loot it.
Yeah, I might have. I stopped doing damage to most of them. I'm doing some as I drag them back, but if I've messed up on a feign, then it was not gonna. Oh, there's another one with one of those crazy swords.
That one's padded. EverQuest
I
PvP
did
was a ton
enjoy
of fun.
PvP, the battlegrounds.
Matt's in
WoW.
loving you.
And where else?
Mordred?
Elder Scrolls
I played a little bit
Online,
on
the
that.
big, whatever battlegrounds they have. I don't know if they're called battlegrounds.
Yeah, WoW PvP was really good. Like,
Mhm.
especially when it first launched. Like, World PvP was awesome. I played on PvP servers, and it was pretty cool. I mean, there was some really good. We used to have some really good fights in like Torn Mill, and it was go back and forth between South Shore and Torn Mill. I was usually Horde. I was always Horde. So, but But it was like, as soon as like they introduced the honor system, it like destroyed all of that. Like all anyone wanted to do was like battleground, people, which it was fine. I loved battlegrounds too, but it was like there was a time before they had all that stuff in the game where the only PvP you had was to go out in the open world and then kill each other. But yeah, it's not quite that way now. The last time I played, when I was playing Classic, I noticed I was on a PvP server, and there was some open world PvP, but nothing like when the game first came out, But I heard they got rid of PvP servers. I haven't played since I don't know, leveled up.
On retail, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they made it to where you have to opt in, so there's no such thing as a server. On any server, you can opt into PvP, and it puts you in an instance of the world where everybody else has opted into PvP. And to
Okay.
talk you into doing that, you get bonus XP and stuff. So
You
most
can go in and out, right? Like you can.
you have to be at a
go in
major
and-
city, so
Okay.
that way you can't just get the
Right.
XP and not.
Right.
you know.
can
Yeah,
get rid-
live PvP sucks anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
it does.
It does, I'm sure.
I like PvP with a purpose. So whether it's
Exactly.
capture the flag or hut
Right.
ball or all that stuff
Well,
was
that's why I
fun.
play Warhammer.
That makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I like the big scale battles, which back in the day, like
Mhm.
Dark Age of Camelot was so far ahead of its time.
That was the best one.
best ever.
Mhm.
But
I
nobody
didn't
had a good enough internet connection. You know what I mean? I remember every time I would try to do a relic raid, it would like crash the server.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, the good news was it did it to everybody at least, so we were all on
Right,
equal.
true.
I remember playing Dark Age when high-speed
I love
internet
that game.
got big, and it was like, okay, I've got to get it because now I'm at a big
I love that
disadvantage.
game. That's the game that pulled me away from EverQuest, man. I remember.
Me
friends were all
too.
mad at me and stuff, and I was like, I'll do both. But I was all in on DOC.
I was too, man. That yoinked me right over. I played that for way after it wasn't cool no more.
I was Midgard. I was a troll scald.
Do you remember what server you were on?
Hibernian
no.
Warder.
Hibernian.
I don't remember the server. It's been
I
a long
played
time.
Hibernia Warden for when Arcade of Camelot first released.
But that game had the best PvP, man. I
It really
swear.
did.
So good. It was so good. Another game that I thought had promise, but it got trashed was that Warhammer Online. It had some decent.
It was good. Yeah, I feel like
Warhammer was
It's all
Then
right.
they dropped the ball. The end game was terrible, man. Like, you had to go in. It was like a PvP game, but then the end game was PvE. It was so weird.
And the big disadvantage was that Dark Age came out had 3, which really did balance out PvP a lot. And Warhammer only having 2 factions, it made it feel more World of Warcraft.
Warhammer,
I think
they
you're
never
right.
did.
Yeah, they should have, because that would have made all the difference, to be
I think
honest.
you're right.
They were supposed to add that 3rd faction of Warhammer. And
Yeah,
never did.
Yeah,
they
and-
never did.
Now,
That's what seemed weird. That it seemed like it would have always had that. You know what I mean? Like Warhammer's got more than 2 factions. You know,
Well,
wouldn't that-
they
would've
they
designed
legitimately
that.
thought they were about to topple World of Warcraft, because Warcraft is a generic version of Warhammer. So they had the real Warhammer. They thought they
Right.
were about to absolutely. It was like the first game that they were using the term WoW killer. Like they really thought they were going to. So I think they thought, well, WoW has a 2 faction, so we'll be okay and it'll buy us time. We're about to slap them
I played
stupid.
Warhammer Online for a while. Was a green skin ogre.
I only played it for the one.
Played more than to the last 10 players.
Maybe a month or two.
You need to win this
What is it? But
League
that
of
was
Legends
the
game because I want to
most
break
down
things.
pretty
Dude, that's what it does to you, man. That's what it
Yeah,
does
I
to you,
played it
dude.
when it was live, but I don't know. I probably played for 6 or 9 months, something like that. And then, but it was fun. I mean, I played it with a couple of friends, and we all played green skins. You know, so that always helps in a game like that. Same with Dark Age. I had a few friends, and we all played Midgard or whatever it was called, the Viking people. Actually, when I first started that game, my friends wanted to play, I guess it was Hibernia, and I was going to be a rogue, so I was a Lyriking, and I couldn't stand that. I just couldn't
Yeah,
stand the
I'm not a
Lyriking,
fan of
man. I was like,
Hibernia,
"Oh, I
yeah.
gotta re-roll, guys. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I played Albion, but I could play Midgard. That doesn't bother me, but I mean, I don't like
I could
Hibernia.
have done Hibernia if I just hadn't played a Lyriking, maybe as my first race.
I would have
Just-
picked Hibernia with all the druid and ranger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had some cool
The
stuff.
thing about Hibernia is they were never very good.
yeah.
Real,
It's-
my
I keep
server-
hearing
it's-
that they're
it's-
wiping the floor with everyone now.
Well, not
I was gonna
anymore. They
say,
did
that
for a
was
little
weird
while,
when it came
but
out.
the leader passed away actually on that server,
What?
and so
Oh,
they
gosh.
went straight downhill. So, but they did have they had their best heyday I've ever seen in Dark Age of Camelot. The Hibernians were winning on the big server for a little bit there.
Talking about the new emulator.
Yeah, that's where it.
Yeah, I played it for a little while, and it's a Hibernia.
Is that the one Phoenix or something?
It was after Phoenix. What is the name of that? Eden. That's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I tried that Phoenix one a little bit, but you know that's one of those games though that when I went back, the graphics were a lot worse than I remember.
Yeah, and dude, there's a lot of weird
not
things
aged
about
well.
that game, dude. The running, there's like a yabba dabba doo kind of build up to run. It's really odd to go back to it.
Yeah, I do have to say, Dark Age of Camelot's one of those weird games where the movement drives you batshit crazy.
Oh yeah, and you're so slow without speed buffs, dude. It's ridiculous.
I think that's why I played a Scald in that game.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And I remember, like, when I
where's it
when
going?
I mained a Scald, I never looked for a group, like in PvP. I would show up and I'd be like, "Who wants me?" And they'd be like, "Oh, come
Yeah.
here, come here, we got you," and then go out and get realm rank
Nathan,
points.
we're on a pet.
Oh, are we?
Mm.
It's weird. Just let me tab on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a cousin that used to play that game with me, and he loved that. He still talks about. I wish it'd come out with like another Dark Age, man.
Well, that's a fun little story. Because they are Mark Jacobs, the original guy.
Right, isn't it Camelot Unchained? Is that the one?
Yeah, it's you know.
It's
Sup-
kind of like Pantheon,
Suppose
right?
it's way worse than Pantheon because they started it in 2013 for real.
Oh, okay, so they have been in development. Like, I've looked at their website and stuff. It looks cool, but I'm like, so, well, you know, it doesn't seem like any progress is being made.
Yeah, so like unlike Pantheon, he's doing a test at least once every month. We're seeing progress. Like they do developer updates every month. Technically, they do more than that. I mean, we know a lot. Whereas Camelot Unchained, it's like I don't. I mean,
Crickets.
And didn't I can't remember. I spent a while since I looked at their website, but they are the ones who really were bad about. They went crazy with the races and the classes, didn't they? Like
Yeah.
a whole bunch of them they were
Yeah.
gonna put in the game, and
they're trying to do the 3 realm with each with their own lands and their own classes in each realm, just like Dark Age did back in the day.
right. And it makes sense they would be trying to do that, but I'm like, if your dev team's not big enough, you're gonna have to like, start off small and like add races later and stuff. But
And then you know their mortal sin what they did that pissed everybody off, right?
So,
they do a Kickstarter.
Well, they did that, and it was successful. It was back before everybody was burned out with Kickstarter MMOs. But then, out of nowhere, Mark Jacobs makes this big announcement. He's like, "Guess what, guys? With the money you gave us all these years to work on Camel Unchained, we made a new game, and it's launching
right.
in like a year."
They ended up working on another game.
Push to talk is not working.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, they started working on another game. They were like, guess what, guys? We used your money, and we made this other game that you didn't ask for.
Oh,
That's terrible. Yeah,
That was
that's not
kind of
what
the
they do.
the end of them. Everybody got super pissed, and the game sucked too. It launched, and the game they launched was garbage.
Oh no. Was it a role playing game or something like?
No,
single player,
it made no sense. It was just like this weird, those games. I don't know what they're called, but it's like a Dynasty Warriors where you just kill a million things.
Oh, y'all didn't get XP on that one, I bet.
We did. Yep.
Oh, good. Okay. My fame fell.
I'm getting way overburdened.
This sucked. Max level fame.
250 backer for Unchained.
And you still fails.
I think it will come out, but
When you're low level, it fails all the time. That's why until you get it, like I tell people, when you first get it, don't rely on it. You just gotta work it.
What's your schedule tonight, Nathan, for playing?
I was gonna go. Unless I had to go before at least till 9:30 or 8:30 your time. And then I've got to get back busy because
We're already 9:30 our time.
yeah, I meant 9:30 my time, so 10:30 your time.
10:30. So another hour.
Yeah, unless you guys got to go before then.
Nope. We're good.
feeling good.
Yeah. Might have to do a quick little break.
Yeah.
But other than that, doing good.
I don't think we've got any comp for spawn now. Looks like it's just us here now.
Nice.
You guys
Good
are pretty much
XP.
You're really
I'm at
good.
80%.
Why are you
you
getting
pretty
more
much
than me?
the
Oh, you're
whole
lower level.
camp, so.
Am I lower level than you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had a couple play sessions that I wasn't here. Darn books.
Yeah, this is a good camp. Like I know I leveled my Ixar monk here quite a bit on blue. But I know a few weeks ago y'all were trying to do Downer, and Downer's awesome XP if I remember correctly. But
Yeah, it was just
can
too
be-
hard for us.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if y'all want to try it another time, I can. Like I pulled in there a ton. Me and my ex-wife used to camp in there all the time. She played a monk and I played a shaman back in original EverQuest. That was a nice duo.
Oh, we got another group over here. I didn't even notice that.
I think we might have to go sell eventually. I know I'm getting overburdened with stuff.
This zone has some pretty good camps. There's also that goblin camp, isn't there? Like where Rock the Destroyer spawns or whatever.
It's down south of the river.
Yeah.
Goblin Bridge.
He drops that earring. That's
Addicted watching this Monsters and Memories development. Yeah, we've been talking about it. Yeah. Filthy hits. Dirty, nasty hips.
why y'all killing stuff so fast. Giants.
Got all these corpses everywhere.
Oh yeah, I lost Sal. That's why I'm slow down.
Wish my sound wasn't broke. I might have to figure that out. What's wrong with it?
I got the Lev cloak, and I've got my Ultra Vision Dark Elf mask.
You better hide some of these corpses.
That giant stunned me.
I'm waiting for somebody to fuss at me in chat. I'm leaving all the corpses. I don't do them until somebody fusses about it.
Or they're gonna now.
Why people get upset about that?
Yeah, it bothers them. I think it's like an OCD thing.
I know back in the day, people used to think that if you didn't loot the corpse, that it would stop spawns. Which I don't think there's any truth to that, but it was something that people believed, and I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with it, and why they developed an OCD about it. But yeah, I'm not one of those people.
I think rendering of your phone would be a little slowed down.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It kills the render is what happens.
Yeah.
It just looks cluttered to me. It just starts bugging me at some point.
It makes me happy to look at all the dead bodies we slayed.
Right.
That's right.
That's
right.
You know, well, back in the day when video cards had 60 megs of RAM.
True.
Now we're complaining if they only have 12 gigabytes.
So, Sparrow, my chat wanted me to ask you, what would you do? This is not going to happen, by the way. No way would this ever happen. But what would you do if Ponytail Guy got hired by Pantheon, by Visionary Realms?
Oh my. No. No.
And I'm not talking about Drac, by the way. No, different Ponytail Guy.
That's Ponytail Drac. No, Ponytail Guy, that would be a big fat no.
What would you do, though? Like,
seriously, what would I do?
Yeah.
I would mourn Pantheon, because it would never come out, because he would wreck it.
It would never happen. There's no way they would hire that guy. They are way, way too picky about who they hire. There's no way they would hire that guy. Plus, I think that guy knows he's done in video games. Like, he works for, like, GM or somebody, doesn't he? He works for some big company that everybody knows about. And it's not video games.
Oh my gosh. Now my stomach is like in knots even like thinking about that. That would just be awful.
Don't worry. It's literally impossible. There's no way that would happen.
Now. Who asked that? They're so mean.
It was Grando Reaper. He does play League of Legends, so you know.
Oh, now we got comp. There's an Ixar monk solo in here who looks like he's all decked out. So I saw him here the other day.
Is he working for the game Kahoo? Because last time I looked, he worked for some
Ponytail
random. Tell me who it was. Who's he work for?
I don't remember.
Oh, I looked him up.
Ponytail Guy.
Smoke Jumper.
I know
his gaming name.
I think I know his name when I see him. When I see it, I think I would recognize if I saw it.
And he was basically the face of selling EverQuest Next to everybody.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Now, but listen though.
God, that was
It turns out
that was a scam.
It turns out that he left, right? The EverQuest Next project, and the team fell apart without him, and that was kind of the end of EverQuest Next.
Yes. He actually had a vision for it. No, he had the vision, but he was the only one who had the vision.
He was the only one.
No one else could understand it.
Which means he did a bad job of explaining it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Probably.
You never leave a company do you have, in my opinion, and I've always tried to do this way, you do not leave a company until you've already got your replacement. You know what I mean? You train your replacement. You make unless the company treats you like garbage, right? I'm talking about company was good to you. You take care of them before you leave. You know.
It's only if you like people. I don't like people.
So that was if I had to say his most gravest mistake, it was that he just left the team, not even making sure that they were in good hands before he left. That's
well, especially if he was like running the project, and that is kind of like almost inexcusable. I mean, you wouldn't want to hire that guy for another project, knowing he just abandoned it or whatever.
Exactly.
Tough. I mean, that's
you got to think too. What did the company do to make him want to leave?
Well, no, he was a jerk, and he couldn't explain his vision, so he got frustrated and he left.
Yeah.
Well, now that could be an issue too. It goes both ways most of the time.
That's
easier to dig to the people who are dicks, one or the other.
See, when he was talking about the vision, I didn't even believe he believed in the vision. honestly. Like, I didn't buy.
He might
anything
not
the guy
have.
said.
We'll never know. He might not have.
I don't know much about EverQuest Next, but it seemed to me like they were trying to do the thing that like Amazon tried to do with New World, that they wanted to create this MMO and let the players create the content.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Except for, unlike New World, it had Landmark. It had a really cool program, like I think Minecraft on steroids, so the players could actually build cool stuff. Whereas New World's just like, hey, here's some crappy tools and fight each other. Yeah.
Right, y'all fight with each other and run around and entertain yourselves in this playground, and
But still, New World did a much better job than Fractured Online. And I'm going to say that because he might not know who I mean with that word online. So I'm sorry, chat. I know it's a bad word in this channel, but for this particular situation, I had to say it. That game released with no content, no NPCs, nothing to do but go to random small crappy little camp spots and kill mobs, and still expected the players to somehow come up with their own things to do.
Would get Fractured Online?
Yeah, no NPCs, dude. Empty towns. Why would you even make towns if there's nobody in it?
Fair.
Did any of you ever play not Daggerfall? What was it called? That's it.
Daggerfall was incredible.
Not Daggerfall. It's the MMO. The crap. I can't remember what it's called.
My chat, by the way, saying Ponytail Guy does work for a game company called Playable Worlds. I'm gonna look into that.
Oh. Yeah, his idea was to have like a Minecraft-like world, but at the pixel level, where the computers at the time had no way they could do that on an MMO scale.
Yeah, no kidding. Like that would be. Yeah, the more you make the world manipulate, where people can manipulate, the more like geometrically expanding load you're putting on servers. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it was possible back then. Now, but here's what they could have done. They could have leaned a little back on that because it was working good for Landmark. Maybe not an MMO, where you can terraform the ground and all this crazy stuff. Although Worm does it, but Worm has really crappy graphics. But if they would have just done like, hey, we have contests every couple of months, and if you make a cool content piece, we'll put it in the game. That could have worked.
Right, that would be better. Yeah. Plus, then you would be curating the new additions. You wouldn't just like random like giant penises built that people.
Right, because people would immediately. It's the first thing they would do. Yeah.
The first thing they'd build.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when? Do you guys remember when No Man's Sky first launched and it was AI made it, and there were still penis monsters, and they had to go through and like make a new code that would delete anything that looked like a phallus. Even AI made penis monsters.
Wow.
I didn't play that game till it had been out for a while. I kind of wish I'd have started playing at the very beginning just to see the crazy
I
stuff.
did, and it was wild, dude. It was super wild. I did
Same
play
with
it.
Cyberpunk. I waited till it was like more or less fixed and it was on sale before I bought it. That's like my thing now. I figure by the time they go on sale, they fix most of the problems when it
It's
launches.
usually true. It's a good philosophy, actually.
Entropa Universe. You guys ever play that?
That sounds
never
familiar.
heard of it.
I don't know. I've never played it, but I think I've seen it somewhere. I don't know where.
A
But I've seen
sci-fi
that
MMO that uses real money transfer as currency.
Oh,
What
no.
game? What game?
Called Entropa Universe.
Oh, yeah.
Glad I never played it.
Yeah, if you get a land plot in that game, you sell it for real money. So
Dude, there are people that have made themselves millionaires playing that game. So.
yeah, yep. It's like the problem with the game like that is that everybody who plays it is they're not playing it for fun. They're playing it to make money.
Exactly.
And it makes it stupid. It just makes it.
It's a bunch of crypto bros. Oh boy.
Yeah, yep,
Sounds
yep.
like
Not
people all
quite
hang out.
crypto, but almost.
Yeah, that's been going forever. There used to be YouTube channels where they would go and troll the big
Oh yeah.
people who had all this land.
See, what was 10 years ago? The guy that bought that moon and sold it for $1 million or something like that.
Dude.
No. Well, I remember in Ultima Online, back in the late '90s, they were the what's his name, Lord British or whatever.
Yeah, Richard Garriott.
He thought it was cool that people were buying and selling assets from the game, you know, whether it be real estate or I didn't see her there. She was pulling it. But you know, they thought it was cool that it showed value in the game. I don't think they ever tried to stop it.
They didn't.
And,
Eventually,
until eBay decided they wouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I think.
Did.
Yeah, UO, I think. Well, maybe when EA took over, like way later, maybe they did. I don't know, but yeah, I do remember that where they were like, "This is crazy. That guy just spent $100,000 for a freaking plot of land." You know?
Yeah, and the land plots is where people would do it. I mean. And I started playing that game day one, and I had a buddy. He was the same guy that played the Druid in here. That guy was like the kind of guy who liked to tear things apart and hack stuff and all that too. And he figured out how to do all kind of crazy stuff. And in Ultima Online, what he would do is he'd go around, and you could make these markers that you could teleport to later. Yep. And anywhere that was big enough to put a plot to build a house, he would put teleports to them. And then he'd wait till people built the house, and then he'd teleport to their house and clean them out.
Oh,
I mean, he was like ruthless. He had an island like out in the middle of the water, but he had all these like boats and stuff, and it was all stuff he'd stolen. Yeah, he would steal people's boats. And he figured out how to dupe money in there. It had something to do with taking the boat out to the edge of the world and doing something weird. And he could duplicate resources like money. And back then the big deal was your reagents for your spells. That was worth more than, you know.
It's sad that I still remember that exploit.
So you know it too. I never knew what it was exactly. He just told me he knew how to do it. He figured out how to dupe. Hey, he figured out how to dupe plat in EverQuest.
Yeah, I've done that a few times too.
He and it was back early in the game, and he did it for a while. He would even sell it on eBay, and then like somebody, you know, it became more well known, and people were talking about it, and they fixed it. You know, and I remember he was all upset. But
first release, you could sell stuff on eBay quite easily. Yeah, you could. That's when they stopped.
eBay
when people started selling, and Sony started threatening to sue them, and ran.
Somebody didn't bribe Sony, and they got all mad, and nobody gave them a bribe.
Sony was like, "That's our IP. You can't do that." Because, like I said, right before them, it had been Ultima Online, and they were totally fine with it. They didn't care.
When eBay first released, and it was like this new thing, like, oh my gosh, you got this place you can buy stuff. My friend Steve, who's on my channel quite often, he would go buy those packs of dinosaurs, you know, the little cheap plastic dinosaur things where you get like 100 for $1. You know what I mean? And he would he would just pick ones out of it and be like rare blue Tyrannosaurus Rex and sell it for like $10 a pop. He made a decent amount of money with that.
What?
Oh
That
my
sounds
gosh.
like Mark.
Oh my
Brilliant.
That sounds like the kind of thing my buddy Mark would have done. That's the kind of stuff he would do.
And I just found out recently, I was talking to him about that, and I didn't remember this part. He was taking the money he was making off of it and giving it to some charity at a church.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, he was selling people what he was advertising. There's bigger scams on eBay.
There's bigger
these days than
scams.
that.
It's just funny, like he
People
was just
selling video cards and you get a box of rocks. You know, I mean,
Robin
that's something
Hood.
that people do. I mean,
Back then, the big money was on accounts, right? I could take.
right?
Well,
You sell a whole
I had a
account.
full group of characters I used to run back in the day, right? To power level accounts, and I could power level something like a warrior to level 50 in a week, and drop it on eBay, sell it for $3,000. And
Right, that's where the big. You're right. That's where the big money was, man. People were paying thousands of dollars for accounts, man.
Wow.
It's crazy.
yeah, and the better gear you had, the you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if you had
better the
certain
gear,
crops,
the more the price was.
if you had a cloak of flames, oh yeah, you're gonna be getting thousands.
Between
I
that
think
big guy,
Bounty's
you could drop
brothers were
15
into that.
It used to be a thing back then until Sony got all mad because people wasn't sharing their profit.
Yeah, they wanted a piece of that pie.
Yeah, and
Now they
I'm
sell
sure.
Chrono.
I'm sure that if they hadn't thrown up that flag, somebody else soon after would have. You know what I mean? Any of
Oh,
these
of
game
course.
companies that are owned by shareholders, they would have immediately. They're going to be like, no, that's our IP, and you know. But
The funniest out of people wanting a piece of the pie was Nintendo when streaming took off, and they did not understand. They were like, "What? What do you mean they're making millions of dollars off of our game? That's our game." Like, and they went after him. Do you remember that? They chased people
Yeah.
down. It was like, you owe us money. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey, I'm surprised more gaming companies don't do it. I am surprised, but I guess they finally realized that you know
It's good for them. They finally realized it's good for
cutting your
them.
nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
And then some. But you know, speaking of exploits and EverQuest, and speaking of monks, did y'all ever know about the glitched or the messed up version of the Froglock Forager's bag? It's a quest out of Ogok. Basically what it is, it was supposed to be a 50% weight reduction bag. They put the decimal in the wrong place. So what happens is whatever you put in the bag, it takes like a percentage of that off the total weight. So like my ex-wife, her monk had that bag, and she would fill it up with like bricks. Like, I don't remember what kind of bricks it was. It was the heaviest thing we could find in the game. And then she could wear any kind of armor she wanted. She had no weight restriction.
Oh my gosh, that's
It was
hilarious.
actually negative weight. And my buddy that played the Shadow Knight had it too. And I'll never forget the day they logged in and neither one of them could move. They were like, uh-oh, it got fixed. Now I'm encumbered.
Yeah.
And what's funny is my ex-wife who played a monk, she was one of these people that had to loot all the time. But even though she played a monk, she looted everything. And I remember we'd be in groups and people would be like, "How are you looting everything? You're a monk." And she would take splitting things flat and everything, and like, you know.
What happened was,
Oh, it was so funny, man, and the way people would look at her, and I would tell her, "Hey, tone it down. Like, this monk over here is getting suspicious." We didn't want to tell nobody about it because we knew that would increase the chance it got fixed, you know. And and I remember after it got fixed, I went on to like Monthly Business, which was like the big monk site at the time, and I asked, I started a forum post, "Hey, who else was using this bag?" Crickets, and I was like, and we stumbled across it very accidentally. I mean, but.
Oh no, Ace patch for EverQuest on my character's zone and naked. Too many years too late. Oh.
Because there's a lot of stuff in this game monks are allowed to wear. It's just too heavy. And you can wield, you know, a lot of the weapons are heavy. Like, you have to decide, am I going to wear good armor or am I going to wield this, you know, two-handed, you know, staff or whatever. But I'm just curious if anybody, if y'all ever heard of it or knew about it.
I didn't know about it. Nope.
No.
And when they fixed it, they didn't say much about it either. They just said, "Oh, it's now working correctly."
of course,
Maybe there weren't that many people.
Just
That
yeah.
a pin to the patch notes that you happen to notice if you happen to be the one using it.
Right. Yeah. It was like, yeah. You're like, oh. And I didn't have one, you know, like, and it was sad. I hadn't rolled a monk yet. Later, I rolled one. I was like, why didn't I roll a monk sooner just to go do that quest and have it? But like I said, it got fixed, so it didn't matter.
There used to be a bug in North Quinos where you could charm that one monk trainer in North Quinos. The one Grandmaster monk guy had something wrong with his magic resist that would allow like a level, whatever it was, the initial charm level for chanters. You could charm this monk at like level 16 or whatever whenever you.
And then start killing everybody.
And kill everybody, yeah.
Oh wow.
I heard about that. And I also heard about, right after they opened Fear, that a bard went up there and like charmed the Dracolich and then wiped the zone.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard
When,
about that. Yep.
Didn't have a limit on how many mobs they could hit. You could swarm entire zones. It was.
Bards are always so broken, man. Like, I was making fun of Necros and Druids earlier, but my god, Bards are probably worse in a lot of ways, at least at certain times before they got patched.
Oh, god, dude. Back in the day, when, especially when Connacht first came out, Dreadlands was like the place to swarm kite, okay? You could tag Gornair and then swarm kite that dragon around Dreadlands for the next 3 hours trying to kill it, okay? In the meantime, killing every other mob in the zone.
You throw me a heal,
I
feetsies,
remember
please.
people doing that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I fell to the ground again. Uh-oh. Don't kill it just yet.
All right, hold up.
Oh, too late.
Let's
I did
nuts.
25.
Dang,
Oh,
nice.
Even.
25.
I did.
You got a whole level. here.
Woohoo!
Pretty good.
I did.
Yeah.
I dinged twice.
This is good XP. I'm about to ding again too.
Wow.
I got a ding earlier.
That feels surreal.
Oh my god, she's got everything. She just brought 3 of them.
Whoa.
Oh, there's another one right here. But man, this enchanter, she's really good.
BTs, I'm gonna have to take you up on that offer one time to go around and get all the different songs from different places. So behind.
Hey, what level are you anyway? Like 25, 26?
25, yeah, I just hit 25.
Yeah, we need to hit High Keep.
Yeah.
Great Afraid Arc. Erudin, I think.
I think Bounty got me those because he could port there.
Let's see, where else are Bard songs at?
Bunch of dingbats, yeah. Finally hopped on myself.
I don't think there's any in Thurgan, but
Talk about P99, Sam?
well, it's going to take the next year to get you guys to level 50.
Yeah.
That's okay. We don't know what we'll do when we get there, so.
We'll probably quit.
I don't know what you're going to do when you get there.
Right,
Are
we're
you
not
kidding
raiding.
me? We have
I think Downer-
Chardock, we have Sibyllus, we have Plane of Fear, we have Plane of Growth, we have Kael, we
now
have...
Velius.
But as a
I
group,
know I haven't even been to Velius yet. I need to go over there and get whatever rep so I can make those. What are the Thurgaden vial that you can?
You know,
Yeah,
Siren's Grotto, you know, there's so many
Ooh, no.
in-game rooms.
That's underwater, isn't it?
No, Siren's Grotto is not. Most,
No.
not some.
When y'all,
Half and
tell you
half.
what though, once y'all get like into your 30s, get over to Velius and do Crystal Caverns, man. Crystal Caverns is a
Yeah.
fantastic experience.
Oh, I
Yeah,
remember
we went
that.
there, yeah, last,
good.
Full
last
name
time.
prayer
Good till-
shawl.
It's good till like 50, I think.
Finally won your match, you're
Chris Cameron's
done.
about 40.
Heard that.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
at the
don't know.
Giant Fort in
I soloed there
Frontier.
a lot with my monk on blue, and I can't remember what level I stopped, but I made a fortune there too, because
Do
you can
know
bank
that
there.
No. Do you know that they know
Start
that
over.
gyms and all that?
Right, yeah, the Geonids, man. They're money. They're just big money bags. Yeah, that zone's got a good Zim, though. It really does. It's one of the only ones in Velius, I think, that does. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth leveling there.
Belk Slab has a pretty good Zim.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's also got the damn haste gloves. That you can drop there.
I still don't have the Chant of Clarity. I still don't have that from Velius.
Yeah, my haste item. I have the swirl spine belt, so I got kind of gimpy haste, but I looted it off one of them damn things that I pulled myself. So
Tower of Frozen Shadows, also the best
Mostly
low
the guild the other day, I
Velius
said,
zone,
hey,
30 to
I didn't
55.
loot it in the EC tunnel. I looted it in the Kedge Keep, so I think it's all right. It's okay if I have gimp stealth or stealth haste.
Edge Keep, well, worst zone in the game.
I think it's the worst and the best.
Did you know Kedge Keep is the only fully underwater zone in EverQuest? Even
Yeah.
to this day.
Yeah, it's I mean, like, I think it is. I don't think I've ever been as panicked or scared in a dungeon as I've been in Kedge Keep.
Oh, yeah.
In any game.
same here.
Maybe that
It's
says
one of those zones that they just don't make anymore. It is
Water.
a maze. It is completely
Oh my God.
underwater. I mean,
That's the worst place to do a corpse recoveries, man. Or drag corpses from. I hate it.
That's
God,
why
I
it's
hate
so
it.
scary, dude. You do not want to die down in there, you
Oh,
know?
I've done
Oh,
some.
of course not. It's a three-dimensional zone. You have up, down, left, right. You have multiple different directions you can go to get to the end
Yep.
game. You know, and it's all underwater. So if you don't
And
have
you lose your
burning
sense of
breath
what's
or-
up and down.
Yeah.
you know,
Where's
Yeah.
he going?
It's rough, man. That's a rough zone.
you don't have
Where is
enduring
this dude
breath
going?
around.
We see,
And
You
we
lose
see
when
a
I
pet.
breath.
I think about be petted.
He pet it? Really?
When I was in, like, we
Ah.
raided that thing all the time too, man. They were like, "Hey, we need your help pulling Kedge." I was like, "Really? Of all the places you want me to help pull, I gotta go to Kedge and pull there." Place gives me nightmares. But it is like you gotta think. To me, it's one of the most impressive dungeons they made, though. Like just the imagination it took to do that, and the idea of doing that, and
Cage Keep is one of those.
Only serial killers creeping Karen I.
And I mean that quite literally. There have.
Oh, yeah.
There hasn't been
Complete hills on mobs
that
sucks,
has
man.
Come up with a dungeon design.
Hurt
that
your
anywhere
feelings.
equal to Cage Keep
no.
in the original EverQuest.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, to me, it's like it's the closest thing to it is one of the planes Fenny queue. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing I could compare it to. That gives you that sort of, sense of seriousness when you get there, and you're like, all right, no screwing around. Everybody gets along.
It's the simple level of difficulty, just being able to survive long enough in the zone to actually do anything. I mean, just to think, just to go to that zone.
There's so many spellcasters in there that dispel. So,
Well,
like,
exactly.
and if you ain't,
Exactly,
and not
right?
everybody's got the
And
damn
you've got to
earring,
have, at a minimum, enduring breath just to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I've only died in there a couple times myself, but I've had to pull corpses in there for the guild and stuff. But I
don't think I'd ever go in there without the earring.
What's the raid, Fenny?
Easy.
Fenny.
It feels better when you
Fenny,
have it.
Yeah, that's a Fenny raid.
Finnegal.
And
Yeah, that's what we would go there
he's
for.
a big ass fish, dude.
That's all I've ever done there. I'm too scared to do anything else. I've went with people to do Fenny, and that's it.
Oops, sorry.
That's a
Yeah,
rather
Brownie's
straightforward
brother
raid.
would two-box that.
But if you got to Fenny, you had to go all the way through it pretty much.
Yeah, but I was with
You go to
people.
every
I
raid.
was I never explored that place. I was with people. They knew what they were doing. I followed them,
when when you go in there in a guild, and you're going to do that raid, 9 out of 10 people in there are just following who's in front of them.
Right.
You have no idea what
Pretty
you're
much.
doing.
Yeah, I have no
That's
idea.
the way you want it. You want everyone to just be serious and everybody follow, no screwing around, no venturing off,
Well,
Because you venture off and you will die.
And know what to do in that zone.
Because there's
to
some
begin
nasty
with.
mobs in there, you know what I mean?
So-
That guy's yellow. We could take him.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. The average person that has played EverQuest hasn't ever been to that zone, let alone explored it enough
True.
to know what the hell's going on.
And I knew people that, were really good at the game that went to high level stuff. They just didn't want to go there. They just didn't go.
I've never been there.
Because
Yeah,
it's a pain in the
Where?
ass.
I
Catch
recommend
Keep?
doing it. Just you got to see it at least once. I mean, like I said, it's pretty incredible.
Here,
It's,
Brownie. Catch Keep?
and it's way underwater.
in
Like
there.
you have to swim down to it. You know what
Your
I mean? It
brothers
ain't like
took you
just
there.
barely submerged. It's
Mhm.
but yeah,
Enduring breath is a must.
yeah. It's,
You get the
yeah,
belt
Drinking is a must.
out of there. There was a belt out of
there's some
Catch
great
Keep,
loot in there. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it does have some good loot. Yeah.
and he would farm the
Yeah,
belt.
Catch Keep has some of the best loot.
Shaman are famous for
But the
solo.
problem-
I don't know why.
Dude, they had to
with Catch
put
Keep
they
is-
had to put good loot there. Nobody would have ever went there if there wasn't a raid and a
True.
good loot there. They had to do that.
I think there's something from the Shaman Epic that comes out of there. Maybe that's why I went
Yes,
there as a Shaman so
I
much.
think it's a Shaman epic.
And a haste belt was really.
Yeah,
That's what I
haven't seen
remember.
that.
That haste felt. Yeah.
Yeah, it
But the
shouldn't
thing
be
with
that
Catch-
expensive now.
Catch Keep
It
too
is
is-
They
not.
made
no
a lot of
different.
plat selling that.
Yeah,
over and
they
over.
don't. They're droppable, so you can sell the belt. That's what my haste item I have right now is, but it's only 16% haste. So
Well, back in the day, it was worth a lot.
Can't really
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
'cause
it
you
still
can't
is.
do
I mean, it
both.
still sells for a few grand. I would bet on here, but something comparable. It's
Yeah.
gonna be less than probably a flowing.
Calming's the man.
FBSS or whatever.
Mhm.
And calming, just so everybody in chat knows, that is Witcher.
But it's because it's
Same
still
human.
16%, it's still better than none. I mean,
He is going to be playing EverQuest
now
with me on
the
TLP
LAS,
too.
everyone wants those silver kite and hand wraps.
He's kind of my best friend.
They're 1% faster than the FBSS, and people are like, gotta have it.
Actually, silver chit and hand wraps aren't that great because they take up an entire slot that can be used from.
As soon as I found out there was
Yeah.
a slot available, because Drac made the TLP groups. As soon as I realized there was a slot, I was like, talking to Witcher, see if he'll join me.
It might be pretty close to the silver kite and hand wraps.
Witcher's never done
Then you
TLP.
look at the epic; it goes in your glove.
It's close
slot.
enough to
You
P99.
definitely
He'll be
would rather
fine.
have the epic on than those because they have a spell effect that gives you spell haste. That's even
Exactly.
I mean, they'll stack with it, but not if you're not wearing them.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
the
think
other
you
group.
can click the monk epic from inventory. I think it has to be worn.
Sorry, guys. I
I
forgot there's another group up there. I just ran and
Used it in a while.
tried to pull their mob.
There's somebody here killing now because they're killing all the stuff. They're basically
You got the
over here with
greens.
dark blues.
Yeah.
I keep trying to find them outside, but I think they might be pulling out there too now. But I'm not even like, to me, like, I try to focus on when I play a monk more about pulling and maybe tanking than I do about being DPS. Because to me, monks.
Staff
their DPS
Elemental
isn't
Master.
Terrible, but it's not. I mean, there's so many other classes in the game that out DPSs. It's kind of like I'm not really that worried about haste on a, But I know for a lot of melee classes, it's everything. You know, it's like your badge of honor, I guess, or whatever. And the swirl spine's got AC on it, so yeah.
If I had to design the perfect EverQuest P99 group,
It'd be our
I
group.
would I would probably go with a mage and a necro, an enchanter and a cleric.
Yeah, that's
Simply
pretty good.
because that, you know, that resembles mainly the group I ran back in the day that was capable of doing virtually 90% of the content in P99. And the fact that it covers all aspects of gameplay, you know, tank, DPS, you know, transport, heals, all that. And the only thing that isn't covered in that base group is teleports. Other than that, you've got mana regain, you've got speed, you've got crowd control,
Crowd control, yeah. That's
tank, you know, DPS, everything else in 4 characters, right?
Yeah.
The only downside to that is you have to collect the research agents to make the spells. But in general, you could probably do just about everything in P99 here with a full group if you did it right. You know, you're talking probably if you did 1 tank, 1 DPS melee, and then you did mage, necro, enchanter, cleric, full 6-man group, you could take, if each player knew what they were doing, or if you had one player that knew how to play all classes, you could probably take just about anything in P99.
What is the highest thing that was in Velius? Was it Vishan's Peak or was it
The worst raid, the hardest raid in Velius in P99 here would probably be the Tunera raid in Velius.
okay?
All mage, 1 chanter
Planar
group on
group.
TLV.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
It was
I've only
discussed.
been in there.
It was
times,
discussed.
like way back in the day. Not on.
Drax team might be doing that.
Off of,
I'm not sure what their
it's-
plan
what's
is.
it called? Off of Kale. That's what
Yeah,
it's called.
yeah. You come out of Kill and yeah, it's somewhere around.
The,
You know what I'm
um,
talking about? Yeah, you know how to get the planet growth.
Spell research, though. What about that?
But yeah, that is probably the toughest
was
raid
pretty
in,
hard.
you know,
So-
in this setting.
Gotcha. Oh shit, that's almost dead. Did somebody else attack this? No, I guess I punched it a few times and almost killed it. Now it's running away. He might be green to y'all anyway, that sapling. I don't know if he even gives y'all XP.
Hey, so you're a monk. You're the monk, right?
Yeah,
Right, you're that monk running around. Okay.
right. The dark elf. Well, now I'm human again.
Whatever it is. This is the
I
one
played a
that-
meld.
We used to use
My
like
other
a
monks have
monk,
always
few
been
wizard,
meld, but
few
I just
druids,
decided
enchanted,
the meld
AoE,
animations
like
are so much
soul
better,
would
especially
be.
when you play a human.
It has
All
the
necro, 1
human
chanter.
physics.
And then the oh, right. But the idea of being able to play a dark elf monk, I just couldn't pass it up. So this people were saying, well, just wait and play the monk and Kunal.
Oh, rogue, dude.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, because they are better. The XRs do have a big advantage. I mean, but of course you got.
What do you guys think about this idea? After we get done with getting to 50, we all re-roll all rogues.
No, a rogue.
That doesn't sound like a good time.
I don't know. I don't think you can make it very far. I mean, you might make it. You know, you could level it. A group of full rogues, sure, but doing anything of consequence, probably not.
Probably better. What you do is you just get a group full of necros, then you can probably do everything in the game.
Oh yeah, a group.
Yeah,
full
that's
of
what-
necros and mages.
That's what Mugen's saying. All necro, 1 chanter.
Yeah, that would do it.
Oh yeah.
You don't need heals. I mean, you know, I don't know. Somebody's got. Well, the necros can heal the enchanter, so, right?
Necros can heal enchanters. Necros can heal their pets. Necros
And they can give them mana
can heal
too.
themselves.
So.
I mean, if you
Well,
did
they can-
5 necros and 1 chanter, not even a chanter, you wouldn't
This
even need a chanter because necros have their own mana read in.
Yeah, right. Don't necros get some kind of? Yeah, I was gonna say, don't they get something sort of like cannibalized, and then they also get
Yeah,
regen,
they get,
so
they
they
get
can.
their own mana regeneration. So.
Yeah, that buddy of mine, Dale, he was always, oh, I could do this and I could do that. And like I said, he would solo all kind of stuff.
3 mages, 3 necros. I mean, well, in general, 3 pet classes, or 6 pet classes in general could probably take out just about any.
The closest I can get to playing a caster class is a hybrid class. That's it. I can't, I can do a shaman, but I'm not gonna play, like a wizard or or even a cleric. I mean, I've tried it and it just doesn't work.
He said he doesn't like the play style.
Yeah, I like melee. I really do. Which
Yeah, I do too.
Make it with a big pointy thing, like
Right.
stuff, whatever. Me,
Yeah,
I
I
like,
don't have a
like
weapon
to
right
set it
now.
on fire and watch it burn. So that's why I play a druid.
Yeah, I always had, back when I was playing this, like, all my friends wanted to be casters, so it was easy for me to play something else. Though nobody wanted to play a healer, so I ended up as a shaman was my first main.
Dude, that was
Oh,
always
no,
the
please.
struggle back in the day, getting a dedicated healer. I always would,
Don't do it as a shaman.
I would,
That's almost-
whoever I dated, I would try to convince them that playing a
Convince them to
healer
play.
class was the best thing ever.
I tried to get my ex-wife to play a healer, so I could play a monk, and she played the monk. So it was...
It backfired.
And I was healing her all the time, and I would sit there and like she's pulling, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do that, but And like I started playing the shaman because my buddies all wanted to play trolls, so they were like, all right, I'm playing a shadow knight, and he's playing a warrior, and you're the shaman, and I was like, oh, okay, well that sounds cool, I guess, And
What's the shaman?
they didn't tell me I was going to be healing all the time and buffing, and that's all I would be doing, but you know.
The crazy part is you can tweak a shaman and make it nice little melee DPS.
I'm the
Yeah. Once you get high
I'm
enough
the
level,
best streamer.
lower
Thank
level,
you.
can
Appreciate
do
that, man.
I mean,
Shadow
yeah,
Knights to the
it's
bone. All
always
roads,
trying
bunch
to
of
get better,
future
remember?
thinkers. Yeah, looking into the
Yeah,
future.
Yeah, 'cause you get all the
hammer
buffs.
on a shaman, well, that pet and dots. Ugh, you're
Mhm.
badass DPS at that point.
Well, and then in Kunark, you get the bracer that's got the right-clickable DD on it. And,
Exactly.
go to town. I've
Watch
watched.
that. Shaman makes one hell of a DPS. You spec it right.
Yeah, I mean, and the slow. When you can land the slow on raid mobs, it's pretty badass. But unfortunately, it's not that easy to get it to land.
You throw melee on them first. Throw melee
Yeah.
and slow, and then you've got haste on you and pet shit. A shaman can damn near melee just about any mob in the
And
game.
the highest I played, like I did some like fear raids and hate raids, but I didn't go much higher than that. Did a few like Vox attempts. I've never killed Vox.
Oh,
Anybody else had that problem? I cannot kill Vox. I've probably, I don't know. I think I've attempted her maybe a dozen times, and all the time I played
One
EQ.
time at band camp, Vox kept freezing everybody. And she kept healing. She has this thing called a complete heal, and it's annoying as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, that's her, man. Nagafin, I have lost track of how many times I've killed him, but I can't kill Vox.
Nagy's a pushover, man. Vox. is
Yeah,
a
I don't know if
pain
I've
in
ever
the
been on
ass.
a failed attempt for Nagafin. I don't think I've ever.
Plus,
been
Royce can
wiped
get
on
to any
Nagafin.
camp in the game. That's very true. I always had a little envy for rogues. They could get right down to you, no issue.
Vox is just one of those.
Ugh.
She's a
Shows you
pain
the
in the
power of healing. You know what I mean? It's like how good heals are. I mean,
No, Vox is one of those annoying mobs, alright? She gets down to like 2%,
I mean,
and then
complete
she
heal.
casts a damn complete heal, and she goes back to 98%, and then you're like, what? Wait, what?
And then fears half your raid into the bear.
Exactly.
It's so annoying, dude. It's so annoing.
You know how many corpses I've pulled out of there?
Oh my
I mean,
God.
my
You know how many times
I've wiped every time
our
I've
raids
wiped.
have been wiped on that chick.
And she's always there. Like while I'm pulling corpses, I gotta look over. She's still there. She's still hitting me.
You have tried, but you have failed. You are not worthy.
Shadow Knights are the right tool for the right
Do you
time
guys think
every
we'll be
time.
coming back here next week or
I
the
think
week
Dimos
after?
would agree with you on that.
What happened was, that all depends on who is sick and who is here next week and what had happened.
Yeah.
I won't be here next week.
I won't be here next week because I'll be on TLP doing the race. I'll be kicking Drax butt with
Oh,
Dimos
alright.
and Witcher, and
Oh, that works out.
I will be
Yeah,
playing
thanks.
EverQuest. We'll be doing 12-hour streams, but I won't be on P99, and I'll be back the following week though.
Wait,
Okay.
is that when the progression servers start up?
Yeah, it launches not on Friday, but it launches on what, Thursday? The 24th,
24th,
whatever day
yeah.
that is. So, but we're doing 12-hour streams at the same time. We're racing to 50 throughout, from starting
Y'all
on
know-
at launch all the way up and through the weekend.
I thought I saw on their website that that if you do the free-to-play EverQuest, you can't do the progression.
That's right.
server.
Yeah, that is right.
Okay.
You gotta have the all
Pay
access.
for
Yeah.
a sub, yeah.
What's the sub fee now?
15.
$15, and it comes with EverQuest too, if that helps any. I like
Yeah.
EverQuest
Oh,
too,
it includes both of them?
and DCUO, which I don't care about that one, but
Free
No.
account
I've played
includes
that a little
every
bit.
product.
I was a big City of Heroes fan, but I couldn't get into the DC.
yeah, I really wanted to get into
love City
DCUO
of
because
Heroes, yeah.
I wanted to
City
get
of Heroes
into
had
it.
a lot of good things in it. I swear, City of Heroes, I think, was the first MMO I played that had instance dungeon.
Rick said
You know
it
what I mean?
also includes
Not bad.
PlanetSide 2, he thinks.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, PlanetSide too.
Planet
Yeah.
Side, I haven't played it in a few years, but I
And
played
Side 2 is
it's like a
pain
big
in the
PvP thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, yeah, it's
open world
it-
PvP first person shooter.
yeah, it's a shooter game, triple, but it does the 3 factions.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Very
It's a
good.
good
That's
time.
pretty good for $15. You get access to 4 games. That's
I think
pretty
so.
good.
Yeah.
No, that's not bad.
Actually, you get access to all of them for free as long as you have a station account.
That's true. You
Well,
can
that
play
is
them
the
all for
sub,
free.
right?
Yeah.
no, you actually don't have to have a sub to access them. They're all
Oh.
free to play.
You just can't do the
except for
TLPs and special servers, right? Right.
Oh, okay.
You can't do the special servers, TLP, anything like that.
Also, here's what I think's BS. Because I usually keep my subscription on for EverQuest just because I like EverQuest, and I would hate for it to not exist, and then I say, if I'd have just had a sub, maybe they would have got by, you know.
Right.
So I keep a sub, but I don't log into it often. So, like, I'm not getting any of the station casts because you have to log in
Yeah,
to claim it.
that's annoying.
That is
They didn't
annoying.
used to do that.
Oh,
That's annoying.
yeah. Yeah, I logged into it for the first time in a couple of years the other day. And my monk was in some dungeon. I don't know where that. I have no idea how to get out. I don't. It's been so long. I'm just sitting there going, and I have no way to gate out. Like, I couldn't find anything in my inventory. I'm like, really? I have no way to gate in current retail EverQuest, but I do on my Ixar monk that's on blue on P99. You know.
Yeah.
Pro tip:
I
if
get-
you're
I-
on live,
My
you want to date
Ding,
area.
27.
Woo! Grats. Nice.
2
There's an
levels.
alternate advancement.
Sparrow, my chat said that they're really looking forward to your 12-hour streams of EverQuest here for TLP. They're more excited about that.
Well, if I can get Bounty to group with me and maybe get our own group going, I will definitely stream some. But not 12 hours. No.
I've got a button ready to go on my stream deck because I'm taking this seriously. Drac is going down. He is not going to beat us. So
Yeah.
I've got a button so I can hide myself on camera. So I'm really going to pee in a cup. I already told my wife. It's already like, hey, look,
Shut up.
I'm seriously
You
doing
are
this like
not.
I'm a young kid. Like Drac is not going
Oh
to beat
my
me.
gosh.
I'm going to
Which-
switch over so you can't see my camera. I'm peeing in a
Are you
cup.
serious right
The-
now?
I'll probably forget to mute the mic once, and somebody will actually hear me peeing a cup. Look, it is what it is. I'm not losing to Drac.
Oh my gosh.
Which
You're
server are y'all?
lying.
I'm being serious. I've already even told my wife. She's like, "Oh, it's so gross. Just you have to clean
That is
it when you're done."
gross.
And I'm not coming in there.
Oh,
Get a chamber pot.
oh my
server?
gosh.
Yeah, it's a chamber pot. I do need to
You
get.
crazy neckbeards, I tell you.
Which server y'all playing on progression?
Wind something?
Oakwind is what's called. The
Oakwind,
new
yeah.
one. It's coming out on the 24th. They'll probably do 2, but I don't think they've announced the second one yet. I don't think they've announced the second one yet, but Oakwind's the one we're doing it on.
Debate.
I don't believe it.
No, I am. I'm not joking. I really am doing that. I am seriously. I am not losing Drac because I had to pee, and it's not going to happen.
Do they have camp rules, kind of like what they did on 99 here?
So, oh, you ready for this? They do have camp rules. Not in EverQuest. They say there's no camps, right? But on this server, if you tag it, it's yours. Nobody else can even attack it.
Gotcha. Because, you know, have you ever like used the list here, like for the camps and stuff, like for the guys? That
Yeah.
like to wander? Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, EverQuest on live, they got sick of the drama, and they were just like, hey, there's no such thing as camps in our game. So fight it out. Figure it out yourselves. We're not dealing with it.
Oh boy.
And trust me, people
The
say...
first to engage, that's nice though. I mean, if as long as it works right, I mean.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Hopefully
It
it
wasn't
works.
working right.
It wasn't. They fixed it, but I think it's still really wonky. But it sounds like they're pretty dedicated to getting it fixed before launch.
I hope they do. or abandoned it.
That would be, if they fix that, I'm gonna be honest, that'd be the most impressive thing I've seen Daybreak do ever, if they actually get that to work.
Yeah, because I think that would solve a lot of the problems if they're not going to do camp lists. Because I think the camp list here things are a good idea. Just every time I think about them, I think about the nearly 20 hours I spent in that the deceiver camp, and I was delirious without sleep.
What if I have to go number 2? I only go number 2 like
longer
once,
than that because
maybe twice a week, so that's not gonna be a
I told
problem.
some other people I would stay because the group was getting thin, and like somebody fell asleep, and we were barely holding the camp, and we actually wiped like, I don't know, maybe an hour after I got my mask, and we wiped, and like I was trying to help the guys get back in, and I just told them, I said, guys, I'm delirious. I can't do it anymore. I've been without sleep for over 24 hours, and I gotta go, you know. So I always, think about it. It seemed like it worked really well.
That's kind of sad. It is sad, but hey,
I know people still had disagreements and stuff over camp.
that's a lot of
It seemed like it
untangling of
worked.
some old code, man.
Oh, my protection of the glades went
Like,
bad face.
the code in EverQuest is so ancient at this point, right? That like if they can actually pull off changing a very core mechanic in EverQuest, that actually is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
This was thrown together where all the developers admitted like we had no idea what we were doing. Like it is held together by duct tape and prayers.
How have they done it before on the progression servers?
It just
ignore the
wasn't-
issue completely.
Yeah, it's just been like,
Players sorted out.
yeah, players just sort it out. So like you'll see like somebody will steal your mob and then, there's nothing you can do about it. But because they'll tell you, they'll be like, there's no camps in this game. So you just had to out DVS them in the past. But we're talking about EverQuest players. Like they're overall generally they do still respect camps. You know what I mean?
People in general, if they realized they were killing your shit, they would back off.
Right. And it's still
Yeah,
that
I've
way for the
never
most
had-
part.
I've never really had problems on 99. Now, in the original EverQuest, yeah, it happened. But, Project 99.
Crazy spaghetti coding,
I've
yeah.
really been super impressed with the community, and they've always been really nice. I mean,
They're useless.
I can't think of a bad interaction I've had. And yeah.
Yeah, dude, I push it when I go.
It's always been like an oversight.
When I do go, dude, it's a project.
Actually, you might
it's a
take
project.
that back. I forgot about SEAL Team. And I had some, yeah. Do y'all know about SEAL Team? They were the top guild on this server for a while.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're gone now, apparently.
What happened to him?
So I was talking to a guy the other day, and he told me that they got in trouble for something. But they were like, okay, so we tried to like a few years ago, there was this idea to get the guilds together to make an agreement about spawns and taking a rotation on the dragons and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they were like, no, we're Alpha Guild. We ain't doing none of that. Y'all
Right.
just kiss our butt, and so I was always getting into it with their monks because we'd be trying to do the same stuff. We'd be trying to break into fear together or trying to pull Vox and see who could get first to engage and all that kind of stuff. So we were always having problems with them. And not just us, but everybody. And apparently they're the ones who woke the sleeper already on the server.
Right. I remember that drama.
And if someone would have asked me a few years ago before Kunark came out, who's going to be the guild that wakes the sleeper, I'm going to be like, oh, SEAL Team. I'm sure they'll be unless somebody beats them to it, but they're going to do it as soon as they can.
But didn't they do it because they knew they were all about to leave anyway, so they were just doing
That's
it just
what I heard. That's what
yeah.
this guy was telling me the other day. He said that they were already having a bunch of drama, so they said screw it and did it, and then they were, I don't know, but yeah, there were some jackasses in that guild. They were all about just trying to rule the server, be the first one to do everything, and blah blah blah, and they like to talk.
They were
smack.
actively trying to block other people from doing content by keeping a rotation of them doing it.
Oh yeah, they would do all kind of things, and they even it got to the point where, so we grouped up with some other guilds, and we got actually a few times were able to, beat them to the punch because and our guild was not small, but we weren't that big. We didn't have as much firepower as they did, but when we got together with some of the other ones, we were able to do that. So then they went out and formed an alliance just to counter, our alliance, and it just went on, and like I said, when I left, I remember like one of their monks was mad because I got a full set of Shiverback before she did, and I was like, whatever, you know, like y'all get everything. Why are y'all so upset about this? You know, I was like, this is stupid, but that's just the way they were. And like, so when I heard they were gone, I was like, well, that's good because they're the only people I ever had a negative, you know, really interaction with.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty bad when people do that, and that's now I have a name to the guild. Everybody always talked about like, oh no, you can't do content like the old days because there'll be a mega guild and they'll hold it down. Look at P99, blah blah blah. So it turns out that's who they were talking about. But I will say this though, and I do think that's a problem, and I don't feel like you can get away with doing a new game with the kind of open-ended raid bosses, etc. Right. You need to at least instance the boss. But I will also say that it is kind of cool in a way, even though it sucks. It's kind of cool that you know what I'm saying. Like guilds have to work together, and like this kind of drama went down over it. You know, like in a way, that's how you know you're living in a world, all right, not a video game.
Yeah, and I met a lot of cool people in the other guilds because of that. You know what I mean? And what's funny, like I was in another guild. I'll be honest, I don't remember the name of it, and it was a smaller guild, and people were pretty cool. And we got folded into Black Lotus. And what was funny was originally I didn't want to do it because, like my my interaction with Black Lotus prior to that had been I was soloing in the King Room in Permafrost. I was like in my low 40s, I think, and it's kind of a hard-ass thing to do, I know. And Black Lotus came in there, and they were on their way to go try Vox or whatever. They were going to, you know, clear the giants out, and they just came right through the middle of my, you know, I had set everything up. I was working my spawns, you know, I had it timed out, or I could get my hit points back just in time for the spawn to pop and all that. And they came in and screwed it all up. And I started yelling at them. And they were like, where's your group? And I was like, what do you mean, where's my group? I'm in here soloing. And they were like, well, you're a hard ass, you know. And some of them were giving me crap, you know, and like whatever. But eventually, like, they were cool about it. And, you know, the guild leader showed up. And he got mad at them, the ones who gave me crap. And he apologized. And even though he'd apologized and left, I was still kind of mad about it later. And so when my guild told me, hey, we're going to all be joining Black Lotus, I was like, no, not those guys. And then when I joined, and I said, they talked me into, they said, oh, we're going to go and see how it goes, you know, try it out. And so I went in, and almost immediately a bunch of them were like, hey, that's the hard-ass monk from Permafrost.
Nice.
And I was like, hey, that's cool, all right, you know. But ever since I've been in their guild, they've always been really cool, and, you know, at one time they were much bigger. We're small now, apparently. I don't know how many people are left, but we were like one of the also ran guilds, I guess, behind SEAL Team, or the ones that were antagonizing SEAL Team a lot, but most of the people left and went to some other guild alliance. I can't remember the name of it now, so I don't know who they're apparently the Alpha Guild now, whichever, you know, they were some of the guilds that put together, you know, mashed together.
Yeah, someone in chat is talking about Transatlantic Rampage, dominated every world boss, every spawn timer, controlled the key mobs, you couldn't compete. Here's the deal though, you can compete, it's just difficult, right? You can compete no matter who you are, no matter what your guild is. Right. Because drama, aka stuff like that, wears on people, right? And eventually, with enough of it, the guild will start to break apart. I'm not saying it's good gameplay. I'm not saying that people should make games like that anymore. I'm just saying that it's kind of cool when you create a game where things like that can happen in a video game. It really is the
meta in EverQuest. You know what I mean? Like all that supersedes, like even like group, you know, how the classes you have and stuff like that. I mean, it's like if you can make that work, then you know you can be very successful. I mean, and
the idea that you can organize 50 people to take down one mob.
Yeah, right. I still agree that's crazy.
Insane.
And I'll say this:
to this day.
Another reason why I think I failed at Vox so much is most of my attempts were back in the day before Discord, when we were like, you know,
organizing raids via text chat.
Yeah, or on, you know, having some of you on speakerphone because you know them real life. And
the good old macro to explain the fight.
Yeah, going, hey.
Trying to explain to people who's supposed to go stand in what line for buffs before you do the pull. You know, I mean, it's like, and having Discord or, you know, TeamSpeak or whatever made changed all of that. I mean, so much. Because I know I can't type while I'm playing.
Since EverQuest came out, I've participated in one sleeper raid, and that was back way when Praxis was big.
Yeah, I never did any of those big ones in Delius. I've barely been in Sky. I think I've only been in Sky like 3 or 4 times. So
I've been to Planet Sky one time. I've did one sleeper raid, and I've been to Planet Fear so many times I can't count.
Yeah, I've lost track of Fear and Hate.
There are just some zones that are just...
Hate's kind of boring to me, but...
It's not really
good.
Well, like sleeper...
Good loot there.
No, the sleeper raid is one of the one per server type deals that have been done over the years.
Yeah.
Back when Praxis did it, I don't remember what day it was. It was like, 2003, 2004-ish. Hey, back when EverQuest was big and shiny and all that.
Yeah, it was pretty big in 04, man. That was right.
We just said once a week, no chance it's fitting in a sock. Sometimes twice a week.
Everybody was claiming to be the WoW killer or the EverQuest killer, and at first it was EverQuest killer, and then it was the WoW killer.
Yeah.
But some things were just far more difficult back then because for the simple fact that, I mean, simply trying to talk to 50
miss TeamSpeak.
people to do something like a Nagi raid.
TeamSpeak, I use that a lot.
Through the conversation text chat that you have in game here.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's frustrating as hell. I mean, and people are better at games now. You know,
Of
there's
course,
more
yeah. Back
information.
then, gaming was
Halfling Illusion Mask
I mean,
is
and
off
think
the
about
Chardark
how
Overseer and
slow some
Chardark.
of the computers people
Crap my
play
rogue butt
EverQuest
down there
back
and
in
had
the
a
day.
seat.
You know, now
Suddenly
you
Chainer
can go
logged
to
in and charmed a
whatever,
nearby
it's
skeld
just
dog
fine,
and
you know,
spawned
I mean,
and killed
back
him.
in the day,
Then I logged back out. I
Windows
waited a little bit,
crashing
about 10
all the
minutes, then
time,
killed that
and
stupid
so
skeld dog.
that complicated
annoying.
things. You never knew when somebody was going to go link dead. Your healer might crash right in the middle.
2
of it,
ankle
you
link
know,
socks? Yeah.
Fun times.
Ankle link socks.
I'm not finding
But we're
giant
only streaming
seals.
12 hours a
I'm not
day.
finding giant
So
seals.
I don't
I'm
even need a
sorry,
poop
it
sock.
is actually
I was gonna say, we gotta get
10:30.
close to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get over to our little bridge where it's safe.
Calming started on Praxis.
I was on.
I'm gonna wait for somebody else because I'm blind.
Original, EverQuest. I think it was
Don't
Enethil.
fall in the hole, Bounty.
The one named after the god, the dark elf god. I think that was the server we were on. Enethil. I think that's what it was. But that's gone now.
Hell, today now Praxis is, I think it's called Zegnani, Exoni, whatever the fuck.
Oh right, the XCGON. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love Discord.
I think I'm on
A rare
Nameless
example
now,
of quality
is
made
the server
software.
I
Yeah.
I had to go
they've
dig through the servers to find it.
Yeah, hell, I've lost characters over the years.
I have
different
too. I had
times.
my shaman that was on there was my first main. I remembered it the other day when I got in.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming tonight. Hope everybody had a great time. We'll be back next week on Friday. We'll be actually playing EverQuest on the TLP. On, like I was talking about, our 12 hours a day. We're going to start doing that as soon as it launches on the 24th. I'll just be streaming nothing but EverQuest every day. Trying to get to 50 faster than Drac. We're having a race to 50. The loser has to play Star Stable online for at least 20 minutes and pretend like they like it. So I'm not planning on losing that. It's going to be a fun stream. I'm with Daimlos. I'm with Random Rob and a bunch of other people. What's that? What are we wet? Yeah, I got to work on Cringe Pony because I got testing tomorrow, so I can't work on it. So I got to get it all done tonight so it's ready to go. So anyway, I'll be doing that 12-hour streams. Come back for that. And don't forget, like I just said, we got Cringe Pony TV tomorrow. That's going to be tomorrow night at 10 p.m. It's going to be at 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on the channel. Come back for some Cringe Pony TV. It's going to be a great episode, guys. You don't want to miss it. And we got a new way we're doing the show, too. So make sure you come back and check that out. It's going to be super cool. We got a new way of doing it. It's going to be even better than ever. And next week starts. We're going to try to hit up some embers early in the week so we can hopefully get some progress there because we're not going to be playing anything but EverQuest starting on the 24th, which I believe, I'm going to check my calendar, I believe that's on Thursday. No, it's Wednesday. So 24th Wednesday. As soon as that launches, I'm going live, and we'll be killing it. It's gonna be a ton of fun. TLP on EverQuest 5, and then we'll be back the next Friday, back on P99. So I hope everybody had a great time. I'll see you guys next time. Everybody have a great night, and until next time, my friends, God bless and happy gaming. Bye, everybody. Everybody have a great night.
Take it